waves crash on the beach of an endless sea. In them you hear a voice, a beckoning lure you have heard so many times before. It is the song of the horizon. She calls to you. She sings of endless wonders and untold horrors, of golden promises and dire warnings, and you know her song. It has always been there. Listen, can you hear it? The wind is in your favor, the tide is rising, the sea is yours for the taking, and your ship awaits. Fair winds and following seas, brave mariner. May fortune find you when the horizon calls.
Ahoy and welcome everybody. Welcome to Horizon's Call. This is our multi-year ongoing nautical campaign. We are still towards the beginning of Season 5, and we are joined, as always, by the very lovely, not as always, but for the past few episodes at least, by the very lovely Jen from Long Dog Dice. We are very happy to have her back. I am joined otherwise, as always, by these very lovely people, and I should say that, hi, I am Derek Sword. I am your GM for this game. I use he, him pronouns, and before I have these lovely people go around and say more about themselves and their characters, I do want to say a couple of things. First of all, this is a Sword and Key game. You can find all of Sword and Key stuff at beacons.ai/Sword and Key, including links to our socials, links to join our Discord, highly recommend you do. We have some cool stuff over there. But also links to our affiliates like Long Dog Dice. You can use our discount code for 10% off your first purchase. We have a number of other great affiliates like Hit Point Press and Eldritch Foundry as well. We also have links to some great charitable organizations if you're looking to donate, or if you're looking to tip this cast and crew, all of whom you see here, we are all one and the same. You can do so through Pally. Pally.gg is a tool we've started using again as it kind of came back around. So if in lieu of like donations, or not donations, subscriptions and like bits and all that typically goes through Twitch, and Twitch takes its fair, unfair cut, whatever you want to call it, Pally evenly distributes basically everything that you are generous enough to tip, and you can impact our game if you do. There's a number of ways to do that. If you do subscribe, it's very much appreciated. It goes towards the channel, helps us break even. We haven't gotten there yet, but that's okay. But yes, you can subscribe, you can give bits, all that, or you can go through Pally and you can give crits, advantages, and even complications, which we call black spots. I think one of those, do I have one of those, Eva? Yeah, we're gonna use one of those today. So let's go ahead and have these lovely people go around, say more about themselves and their characters. Mare, if you don't mind starting us out.
Hey, I'm Mara, I use they, she pronouns, and I play Acacia, the Soul Knife Rogue Star Druid, who is currently an eagle and has turned her friend Proximus into a sugar glider.
Fantastic. There's a current joke in there somewhere. There's also a sugar daddy joke in there somewhere. I haven't found it yet. I'll let you know later. Next up, we have Eva.
Hi, hello. I'm Eva. I use she, her pronouns, as does Winnie, the sea elf alchemical artificer bard, who I will be playing today.
Amazing. Sorry, I'm just realizing that I have subscribed to my own channel for 52 months. So there is that. I would love to give my advantage there to Jen. Next up, we have Mikyl.
Hi, fam. I'm Mikyl. He, him pronouns. I'm playing Proximus with the same. Your Triton, Shadow Sorcerer, Oath of the Guardian, Paladin, a homebrew Horizons Call Oath. Yay.
Hey,
and I'm a sugar glider.
You are. We have a very zoological crew going right now, thanks to our single druid. Special thank you, as always, to Mikyl for the artwork that you see on screen, as well as in all of our promotional materials. It's very much appreciated. It's not just this game; it's many, many games that we have here on Sword and Key. So the appreciation goes to infinity. Next up, we have Kaila.
Hi, hello, my name is Kaila. You should hear pronouns. I play your Siren Storm Sorcerer, Scarlett Shores. I was going to get messed up on that one of these days. Who also uses she, her pronouns, and just blowing through spell slots.
Yeah, you don't have that short rest stuff anymore. That's okay. maybe a long rest will hit y'all here soon. Last but absolutely not least, our special guest today, Jen. Hello, welcome back.
Hello, thank you for having me. I'm Jen. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm playing Callista, who also uses she, her, the Tiefling Tempest Cleric, who has been for quite a while living in the city of Dis, and now has to not go back. But it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be so fine.
It's gonna be great. There's so many places in hell to go.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Even, I mean, maybe even the Abyss. There's nowhere but down.
I could use a vacation.
That's right. That's what they call it. Thank you to all of you for joining us. We are going to jump back into things. Mare, I believe you have the recap this week.
I do have the recap this week. I remembered like halfway through our green room. Anyway, last time on Horizon's Call, I ended up getting enticed into a really lovely spa, and I was getting a hoofacure. My hair was being braided, and my horse body was getting brushed, and it ended up just being a succubus and incubi den, until Callista pulled me out very quickly, by the way, and we ended up running because a pit fiend that Callista apparently knows was chasing us. It was not great. Winnie and Scarlett were able to dimension door away fairly quickly, and Callista joined me on my back as I galloped away. Proximus was a smidge slower with Smokey, so in order to combat this, I turned him into a sugar glider and handed him off to our new cleric friend, Callista, and then we flew out of there, quite literally. Winnie and Scarlett, while we were still dealing with the pit fiend, were being attacked by the souls of shadows of people who used to live here. Not great for them. And when we made it to them, the actual not the actual ruler, but the one who probably does the most work of Dis, banished us, and I don't see this as a negative. We got out of the city, so we're on our way to the boat right now.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Mare. Please enjoy your inspiration for today. I hope you make very good use of it. Okay. Well, where we pick up, much as Mare had indicated, as Acacia had indicated, you all have been barred from the city of Dis. The gates, large, iron, and semi-molten, have sealed behind you, almost as if welded together, a single line of molten metal, keeping them, basically solidifying them into one single piece once again. Perhaps to be broken by the pit fiends that push them open for you, and sometime later. But at least for now, the massive towering walls of Dis, with spine devils soaring above and imps kind of cackling down at you, just seems to loom behind. Standing on the cliffside, you look down, seeing a set of switchbacks carved into this blackened, almost lava-like rock that seems to make up this portion of the infernal hells. Little bits of sand that, if you're not wearing shoes, seems to find every instance it can to stab into your feet. Almost like walking on like little bits of molten or lava rock glass. Down the switchbacks, it leads to what appears to be a dock-like area, and you can see several infernal figures moving about with ramshackle buildings, seemingly made of bits of metal and whatever accounts for or equalizes to some sort of wood in the hells. And a little bit further than that, the massive river of Styx. Barely a river, as it seems to extend far out to the horizon. This hazy, reddish, blackish kind of smoke seems to emanate down from the sky and block your view too far out. However, the river Styx gives off a sort of mirrored coloration with this combination of red and black ichor. There's no blues. There's no greens. This is not the natural water of the material plane. This is something that even from the smell of it from here burns the nose and has a very cursed feel to it. And on the river Styx, you can see not ferry boats, but large masted ships, similar to those that you might have on the material plane, but twisted and corrupted and made of some, again, sort of blackened wood perhaps, or metals, or perhaps even things that were once organic, as there are a variety of them, no two of them exactly the same. Several of them are out sailing on the Styx, and several of them have made it to port. You do know that after having been booted from Styx, from the city of Dis, you are to meet Navik, and he is a Marin Loth, and he will be your transportation as you get to Umberlith Manor and ultimately confront Infernal Chancellor Longinus. And that is where we pick up. One of you is an eagle, one of you is a sugar glider. The rest of you have seen a little bit of combat, definitely spent up some spell slots. What would you all like to do?
I'm gonna fly down the cliff and offer to anybody if they want a lift. I will fly them down the switchbacks.
Yes, please.
Yeah. I will ferry Winnie in my claws, and anyone else who wants to.
Okay. Anybody else taking up that offer?
If I fit, I'll go.
And I'll have to make multiple trips. I don't think I can do it all at once.
I think if you pick up 2 in your claws and 1 on your back, and then the other one's a sugar glider, I think you'd be able to make it.
All right. Cool.
Oh, that's cutting it close, but
it might be, but
Yeah.
at the same time, you are gliding downwards.
Downward.
You're not trying to get lift. It is a controlled glide, so we can call it.
okay, that's fair. I can accept that.
Yeah, I'm not going to make you do any rolls like that, but just for the sake of it, we can say that you get everybody, a little controlled glide. That you do note that there doesn't seem to be like a lot of air that catches your wings. That the air here is stagnant, if existent at all, and you can even tell
it's all air resistance. That's all it is.
It literally, a lot of it's just air resistance, and like even the air, it feels hot and it feels dense. And like the rest of you kind of get the idea that were you not under whatever protection that your infernal contractor gave you, you likely would find it hard to breathe down here in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even great with the protection.
Yes, it's the air is like drinking, but like not in a watery sort of sense. It's like crunchy. Nevertheless, you soar downwards, finding your way down to near the water's edge, and all about here, devils are milling about. You can see that there are shades that are being put to work, and you can see that there are a variety of devils. Lower tier, if you're familiar with devils at all, there's a lot of imps, there's bearded devils, there's some barbed devils, some Yugoloths as well. But everyone seems to be kind of going about their business. It seems to be more of a commerce sort of vibe going around here. Like you'd see it a lot of different types of shipping areas. There are barrels of things being offloaded, and you can see that shades are also being loaded onto ships as well. Looking about, nobody seems to give you the time of day. You know, they've got their own hellish business to do. What would you like to do?
Callisto, which one is Navik's ship?
Yeah, I imagine he probably I know what his ship looks like, and so I was like, we don't want to be here for too long, so and I will just start in that direction.
Yeah. Walking down the pier, essentially, which is made of this, again, kind of like twisted metal that is rusted and corroded, yet all way too solid. It seems like it's looking to give you tetanus, as there's all these little like sharp edges to everything. Everything is just like it's unpleasant to walk on, it's unpleasant to be around. And as you kind of are shoving your way through some of these devils, some of whom are like intentionally elbowing into you, you pass by a ship that's offloading like a bunch of nightmares, and they're just kind of like herding all of them off of the boat. You see a little bit ways ahead, there is a ship that has it's a 3-masted ship, kind of similar to the ones that you might be familiar with, but it is more spiky, I guess is a good way to say it. It has all of these large twisted iron nails, not small nails, but almost like spikes extending out from it at all of these different angles. It has this twisted infernal face kind of carved into the steel metal, almost as a figurehead. But you can see that like the bottom of the mouth with these jagged spiked teeth is catching a little bit of water as well. It has a boardwalk that leads up to it, and you can see that there is a barbed devil that is wearing a vest and is kind of like barking all of these orders at this crew of shades and skeletons. We finally have a literal skeleton crew.
The thing is, it's not on the material.
It's not. That's
so
right.
I feel like it doesn't count.
Yeah, I know.
You're gonna start getting picky about it.
Callista, go ahead and give me a history check when you see this barbed devil.
Perfect. Helps if I have my sheet on the right tab. That is a 17.
Great. You would remember that Navik is the Marinloth captain of this ship. He is the ferryman, as the term that they still use, despite the fact that more logistically he would be closer to like a material plane captain. His first mate, however, is this barbed devil. Again, wearing a vest, kind of rags otherwise, but all of these like spikes kind of sticking out of him, very, very porcupine-like. His name is Mr. Prick, and he lives up to it.
Of course it is. As we're approaching and I see him, I'm just like, okay. And I'm gonna kind of like still walking, but over my shoulder to the rest of the group, be like, you already have arrangements through your contractor, correct? He's expecting you?
Better.
Oh, good. Okay. And I'm just going up. I'm used to this. They know who I am. This is fine.
Proximus is going to jump off of Callista,
Smart.
landing on Acacia in the mind link, because we still got it up, yeah?
Yeah, it's only an hour, so Derek, just let me know when that 1 hour is up.
Mm-hmm.
Can I be normal, please?
Yeah, no problem. When you touch the ground, I'll undo it. Unless you want to be on my back.
No. I mean, yeah, no. So he'll glide down to the ground.
Yeah, no. I'll let Proximus be his fishy self again.
Surprise, Triton! Hi!
I feel like you've been waiting for that since surprise horse happened.
Multiple surprise horses.
Yeah.
Surprise fish. Yeah, Proximus, you grew up from being a tiny little
transformer.
Yeah. You do whatever that I can't remember if there was a sound associated with like Power Rangers when like Rita would like make the monster really big.
Oh
but,
yeah. Let my monster grow.
But yeah, you get really big again. And yeah, you can see that Callista is walking up the boardwalk. As you're walking up the gangplank, Mr. Prick kind of turns towards you. You are taller than he is. He is stout and like very rotund, more like less porcupine, more puffer fish is kind of the vibe this guy's getting. He looks bloated, and like all of the spikes are like straining at this point. And he looks at you and he goes,
All right, Callista, all right. What do you want? I don't have any debts. I don't owe anything to your boss. I'm just trying to do my job.
It's
Those
not the-
abyssal chickens are going to bite your fingers off if you keep sticking them in the cage.
And you see that there's like an imp that's like just poking these little hell chickens.
I have some individuals that I believe Navik is expecting.
Like looks around you.
Oh, they're ugly.
Can you let him know?
Yeah, let him know. I'll let
Thank
him know.
And he goes like kind of waddling off. And absolutely, you would be able to see he goes up to the quarterdeck, and I think I have that right. He goes up to Navik, standing at the captain's wheel, and Navik, much as you remember him, heavily cloaked figure, very very Charon-like. A lot of the Marin lots kind of have this vibe to them, where you don't really see a lot of their body. They wear these heavier cloaks. All you can really see is this lower jaw that kind of sort of connects into shadow. And the lower jaw seems to be metallic with these two prolonged kind of canine teeth that extend upwards. When he talks, you don't really see an upper jaw. You kind of just see it like moving with smoke, and these two eyes that every now and then kind of just burn out like coals if the hood is pushed back enough. Otherwise, the hands are these very extended, long, claw-like, but again, have almost a little bit of just like a little bit of shroud about them, a little bit of almost like they steam almost as you touch them. So everything just seems blurry about him. And again, just like kind of like a Grim Reaper's cloak in a lot of ways. And you see Navik kind of nod to Mr. Prick and look to you, Callista, and all of the rest, and just does like a come hither with this very long claw. It takes like twice the amount of time just to let it curl.
Let's go. And go ahead and board. I am kind of paying attention to make sure everyone's following me, but I'm trying to also just be like, I'm trying to give the air for Navik that I was like, I'm just kind of doing my own thing. They're with me. I'm like, whatever. I'm trying to establish some kind of power in this, knowing that any conversation with him can very instantly just get very rude and condescending.
Mm-hmm. And absolutely, as he sees you, he drifts down the stairs. He doesn't walk. There's not feet, as far as you can tell, involved in his movement. And he approaches you.
Callista, the deal wasn't to take you. Get your sorry ass off my ship.
Unfortunately, I have good news and bad news. The bad news is you do have to deal with me for this particular venture. I believe you're expecting this crew. But the good news is you will, hopefully, never see me again after this.
Wow, I don't remember when I asked. But fine. Tell you what, I like the idea of never having to see you again. Never really want to see anyone again. You put a little work in on the ship. You don't cause any problems. I know that one might be hard for you. And maybe help me make a little bit of coin. And you can come too.
Very generous of you.
Least I can do.
Truly.
Have the rest of you gotten on board?
Yeah, I'd be right behind Callista, because, we're friends now, and we're taking this ship anyway, so why hesitate?
Yeah, I'm also right behind. Just kind of been flying from perch to perch.
To all of you, I don't need to know your names. I don't care about you or your survival. Don't touch my shit. And you can stay on my ship.
No one wants to touch your shit.
Good. The river Styx is not hospitable even to those more aquatically inclined.
So we should not touch the water. Is that what you're saying?
Very much no.
Oh,
You always could. Give it a try.
No,
See what
do not.
happens.
Do not
No.
listen to him. And I'm gonna do a stare down. Like this being is bigger, taller, scarier, and I'm like doing like the don't you fucking test me mom stare almost.
Yeah, very Christmas Carol, especially Muppet or even Scrooged versions, where it's like he's like 8 feet tall, but like very thin, and just kind of like points at whoever he's talking to with these very long fingers. So you don't have to see his eyes, you know exactly who he's referring to. And when he's talking to like the group, he's making these like small like circles just to show that he's talking to everyone.
and he's got like a long cloak. Is that what you said?
Yeah, just
Hood.
very shaded, very like smoky kind of vibe with like this metal jaw, this lower jaw that you can see that moves when he talks.
What did our contract say about this situation?
It said that Navik was hired to transport you all. That
to
he would be
the estate.
Yes. Yeah, he would be available to transport you all to the estate based on like you can't take forever. He would be able to
Right.
wait, you know, a decent amount of time for you all. And transportation back was not guaranteed.
Right. Okay.
Well, transportation back was he will take us back if
Paymon.
we don't take too long, basically.
Yes, or the old Paimon basically said he would show up once you were able to allow him to come back. Paimon would be able to come back to Hell of his own accord and just meet you all there and transport.
As
you
long
back
as we're
himself.
successful, then
Yes, it is a one-way trip as far as Navik is concerned.
He's not as pain in the ass as you said he would be, Callista. I can agree to those terms.
Fantastic. Should
No,
you
that was it.
always-
That sorry, that was in the mind link. I'm Soul Bird.
I was like, oh my god.
yeah, I was like,
Oh no,
my
I'm Soul
vote
Bird.
rolls got terrible.
I was wondering about that, but I wasn't gonna say anything. I'm
Nope,
like,
still a bird. It's in the mind link.
Ugh.
I can deal with not talking to anyone or touching anyone's shit. So
where would you like us to like? Where can we go on your ship? How big is is there a cabin?
Yeah, so this is probably what I would consider like galleon sized. This is maybe one of the largest boats you've been on. And it does have, I mean, a decent sized crew as far as you can tell. A lot of the crew are skeletons. There are some devils about as well. A couple of bearded devils seem to be moving about, and shades. And the skeletons and shades seem to be deferring mostly to the devils, and the devils are they're definitely not doing as much work. Otherwise, it has these like very ragged, blackened, kind of almost grayish sails that don't really seem to be catching wind, or maybe they're more for aesthetics than anything else. Yeah. Otherwise, it has your forecastle and quarterdeck, and seems to have a decent lower deck section.
What I will say is that locked doors are meant to be locked. Should you find yourself on the other side of them, you will stay there forever. Also, open employment opportunity if any of you want to sail the Styx forever. I'm always looking for new crew, just throwing it out there. And just a friendly reminder, I'm only tasked with taking you to Umberlith Manor. That is not required that you be in one piece, nor of whole sound mind. If you touch the Styx, it will take yourself from you. You will lose all that you are, and you will be a shell. I can do a lot with shells.
I will untransform from being an eagle.
Oh, good. I was going to say no pets.
I think I find it agreeable that we just exist in the same place and we both mind our business from each other. I'm cool with this.
I also think that's probably pretty good. Is there a cabin that we could use to stay out of your way?
The ship is big enough. Find a corner.
Okay.
I know a good corner.
Callista would know the best corners. There's some good corners.
They really are. He keeps runs a very tidy ship, so good places to stay out of the way.
This
And
is
I will-
also...
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
This is also a,
Long finger quotations.
side gig. So I need you to know that I will be engaging in a form of unpleasant commerce along the way. You may help, but do not hinder. Fantastic.
I'll look at everybody else. Come this way.
Yeah, I'm a follow.
Good to see you, Captain. And take us below deck and find a good corner where I'm like, this is gonna be not just as out of the way of the crew as it can be, but as out of the way from his commercial activities. Just being like, the less I feel like they all see, the better.
The less, if you don't know, it shouldn't be able to hurt you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Exactly.
I don't like that line of reasoning, but yeah.
Yeah, speaking of, you will have a high enough passive perception that this ship kind of is like, very much to the title of today, as above, so below. Like, there is what you would equate to on your ship to a doctor's area, a surgical bay. However, you see it only very briefly as the door opens and a massive bone devil kind of pulls his way out. As he does, you can see that he's leaving tracks of blood, and blood starts to pool from under the door. It is almost completely soaked inside there.
So just to be clear, like passive perception, even if you're actively trying not to look at things.
That's the problem with passive perception, isn't it?
Okay. In the mind link, Winnie will say, and Winnie absolutely, baby Bjorn's like little Jeffrey is like strapped in, right? Like,
Strapped in and padlocked.
locked in.
Every time you walk by a devil, he's going, high five. High five.
Why
No.
did we teach him that?
Is it high five or fist bump?
He's doing one of both.
Yeah.
In fact, he's tricking them that when they go to do a high five, he makes it into a fist. He goes, gotcha.
Well, in that case, it would be turkey.
Yeah, turkey.
Oh
yeah.
my god. Okay. Like he's
My
ever
favorite's when
seen a
you-
turkey in his life.
I have two favorites. Quick sidebar on this. Octopus is one of my favorites, or squirrel, where you go up there.
I like that one.
Try that. It's pretty good.
I'm gonna
It's
do
pretty
that
good.
one next time.
Jen seems
Yeah.
horrified by that thought.
Little Jeffrey is not allowed to squirrel. He might be able to. Octopus.
People's faces when you do a squirrel, it's just like horror and delight all at the same time, where it's like, I can't believe you did that, but I'm gonna do that to the next person I see. Like every person.
It's like The Ring.
When we
Yes,
go
I
take a
passed it
break, I'm doing this to my husband.
Please. Oh my god.
Yes. I have already successfully forgotten one of the two things I was gonna say in the mind link. No, got it back. Okay. When we get where we're going, on the ship, how safe, Callista, are we on the ship? Like, can we do a little nap? Or Cause I can make a little secure room area, but I don't know if we need to. And also does the water from the sticks is it caustic? Can you scoop it up?
Please tell me you are not going. Please don't tell me you're going to try and grab Styx water for all
It
chemical
depends
reasons.
on what the answer is.
Let
No.
me work backwards
Not
from
with my
this. With the
hand.
water, you
No.
wish it was caustic. That would be the better scenario for making contact with it.
So
You truly do not want to risk touching it at all.
A lot of amino acids in it, technically.
Yeah.
So if I have a string and a vial.
Winnie,
No.
don't.
All right, I was just thinking it would solve a lot of problems later on, but okay.
So, for Callista's edification, just how we're ruling this for this game, so that she
Okay.
can convey that to the rest of you.
Cool.
The river Styx kind of like if you're familiar with Greek mythology, awesome. Me too. This ain't it. It's kind of it. They combined a bunch of the different rivers. So there's the river of Memnos and Phlegethon and all those. The river Styx kind of is like all of them a little bit.
Okay.
So there's parts of it that are a little bit on fire. There's parts of it that are like, hey, this is like where the souls have to travel across. The biggest thing about the river Styx is that it flows down from ice, from the literal like the plane of ice where, you know, the plane of water kind of solidifies, and it melts as it hits Avernus due to the sheer amount of heat, but also because Avernus is where the blood war is primarily fought between devils and demons. A lot of blood gets in it, and that all then flows down. You are like traveling down the river Styx, not up. You're traveling further into the hells, away from Avernus, which is the top layer. So Styx has the quality that it is full of devil blood, and that gives it a sort of like mutated quality where anyone who touches the river Styx begins to lose memories. Mechanically, it uses it gives you the effect of the spell Feeble Mind. You know, there's a save and everything for it, but Feeble Mind effectively, let me pull up the rules here.
You know, that's nasty. That's a nasty one.
It's a pretty nasty spell. It's not something I'm super a big fan of, but mechanically kind of makes the most sense for what this is. You take psychic damage, you make an intelligence saving throw, and then eventually you lose intelligence and charisma scores. If you keep losing those, you eventually lose what is you.
Yeah.
So, and that is like a semi-permanent sort of thing. So it's not a guarantee, but the longer you stay in the Styx,
cool.
the more likelihood you have. And there are things that are immune to that, which is none of you. So that's the main effect of the river Styx.
Fine, Winnie won't mess with it.
The other thing to Winnie's question, nobody sleeps in hell. You can't sleep in hell. It is physically something that cannot be done.
So if you come in, like, let's say you have been up for 24 hours and you come to hell and you can't sleep, are you just going to feel exhausted until you can get a night's sleep?
You can rest, you can't sleep. I'm not going to take a long rest from you guys. That seems way too weird and punitive. It is hell, but at the same time, that's not fun. So you all can rest, but you can't sleep. So yeah, because if you sleep in hell feels counterintuitive, right? Like you can maybe find a corner and get some rest and maybe regain some spell slots, but you can't just sleep away because dreams don't reach hell. This is where dreams can never reach.
What about those of us who don't dream anyway?
Well, trance is still effectively a form of dream state. You're not immune from all the monsters in your dreams.
I thought I explicitly don't dream. Either way, that's not the point.
It's a little bit of a weird gray area on particular kinds of elves, and this is an argument in my game that happens too often.
Especially if you talk about Eberron, where they have literal like dream monsters. It's like, well, elves are immune. It's like, no, they shouldn't be though.
Yeah.
Anyway.
See, Derek, I'm with you. Thank you. I mean, hey, my people, I've clipped this and I'm sending to. Yeah, I think with more of the mechanical context of how this actually works, I think this will be like. I think I still give the exact same kind of warning for Winnie. Like, the idea of something that might be able to fuck with your memories and knowing that, like, we don't have, no place in the hells is safe, but we don't have what could be considered a safe place to go from here, that if this starts going badly, like, I can't squirrel them away somewhere or sugar glide them away somewhere. Like, if they start losing anything that makes them them, and so I don't want to risk it, so I'm still being like very like, do not touch this. Now if you fuck off and go and do it anyways, but I will elaborate on kind of the warning that we already got from Navik about you losing who you are and becoming a shell, and just emphasizing that was not him being a dick to scare you, that he is like, he's downplaying it. If anything, it is truly that bad. To your first question, As long as we don't get in anyone's way, this will be relatively safe. He understands that his contract is to get you to where you need to go, and so he will not allow any of his crew to hinder that, because I don't think he wants to end up on the wrong side of a broken deal with what I know is that you all have an agreement with Paimon, which is wonderful.
Sound sarcastic.
Insight check.
Yeah. I don't know how long ago I don't know how long he has not been able to be in hell. I imagine I at least know enough of the history of like, hey, I don't like the guy that's here, but I know that he took it over from somebody else at a minimum.
Sure. Yeah, time is weird in hell. I think
Yeah.
you probably have run across Paimon from time to time. He used to come to the same place where you were hanging out and do his gambling. It's where he lost everything.
Okay, cool. So I do actually. Okay, cool. So I will actually know who he is more personally. Love that. I love that for all of us. Yes. Okay.
It's hard to have favorites in hell. He's not the worst by far, but he's far from like good. He's still a Cambion.
Yeah. I probably prefer him to Longinus is the vibe I'm getting.
Yeah, Longinus is pretty
cool.
Decent asshole. Yeah.
As much as you can prefer a devil, but
yeah, devil, you know.
It's always
Cool,
the lesser
exactly.
of two evils.
Exactly, truly.
Yes, literally.
Oh, what are there other quotes we could? Road to Hell's paved in good intentions.
Okay, look. All I'm saying is the last time we were on a ship, which was less than a week ago, depending on how you measure time, we got like whisked off into ice prison and then had to fight a bunch of fire giants. And also Scarlett killed her father-in-law. Soon to be father-in-law? They weren't engaged yet, so I guess just a dude. But
they killed.
yeah.
Yeah.
So like what I'm trying to do is like mitigate a bad time.
If you can put up some kind of barrier, I will, and I'll make sure I'm steering us towards a corner that doesn't overlap other like cabins, or just like put us towards the front of the ship or the back of the ship, so that, because like I don't know what this barrier is going to be, so if it's going to extend out, I don't want to be I want to make sure we are out of the way.
Yeah, you just give me like 5 feet or more and like tell me where the limit is. Because I promise you the limit does exist. Like, I can only do this so far.
It couldn't hurt, just so that way more of us can maybe be not as aware at any given time while we take a break.
Cool. And then Winnie's gonna start like wherever Callista says, like points to is in terms of like an area. She's gonna kind of like lay down some like seaweed like demarcation lines and like very like supernatural, like a little bit of sea salt, and then she's gonna spend the next 10 minutes casting Mordenkainen's Private Sanctum.
Oh, that's a good one. I love that one.
Yeah. We're gonna just get that anti-divination shit up because, yeah. So as long as I have 5 feet, I assume I don't have 100 feet, but just to give us a nice little area. Almost knocked my water off the table.
So your Sanctum Sanctorum, let's see. As small as 5, as large as 100 feet on each side.
And I'll just give it like all the protection. I know it doesn't stop anyone from like wandering in, but
sound can't pass through. The barrier of the warded area appears dark and foggy. Can't be preventing vision, including dark vision. Sensors created by divination spells can't appear in the protected area past the barrier perimeter. Creatures in the area can't be targeted by divination spells. Nothing can teleport into or out of the warded area, and planar travel is blocked within the warded area. Okay, and hey, if you do it on the same spot in a year, it makes the effect permanent. Pretty cool. Okay.
Yeah, let's not be here that long.
Yeah. Problem is we wouldn't even know.
Yep, there's that. How long has it been, actually? That's a good question. Not an answer I'm going to give you.
I thought you
So,
said it was more or less 1-to-1 with the main material plane.
No, I said time is weird in hell. In fact, I know I've said that a lot of times.
You did.
It's been said at least 3 times just while I'm here,
that's
so I don't know
true.
about your prep.
That's true. Okay.
Yeah, it is not 1-to-1. If anything,
Well, like closer than the plane of fire. Like I thought I heard that we weren't gonna lose another like 6 months randomly, but apparently that was
that is correct. What do you
Okay.
want? You're well read enough. Go ahead and give me an Arcana or History check.
Do I
People have
get
been to hell
advantage
before.
because I've got keen mind and am never on the material plane to use it?
Sure.
I'm mostly just kidding. What was it? Arcana?
Or History.
31.
Yeah.
It was a nat 20, so I'm not even gonna worry about that.
Maybe as a kid you were really into like scary stories, and the scary stories in fantasy worlds get to be true. And so maybe you were reading something that was way inappropriate for your reading level, as you were reading about this like sea elf that ended up going to the hells and spent a year there only to come back and find out it had been a day on the material plane.
That's fine. Okay. So
So
Winnie doesn't need a panic attack corner at the moment. Cool.
like time on Earth, you time in hell is so like dilated in the sense that like a second can go by on the material plane and it will feel like a day
Yeah.
in hell.
Well, and that makes sense actually. Like, yeah.
The suffering is prolonged.
Because we're getting into like peak anxiety and paranoia, and we are gonna like take a little break and like do our little meditations and like rest up for a minute, right?
Yes, I think that would be.
Okay.
I think that would serve all of us quite well. I do also know that I'm going to ask a question that I am afraid I know the answer to. Do you all have a plan beyond go to the manor and kill Longinus? Was there any more detail than that?
Hey, you want to meet Bowie? And I'm gonna summon my dog.
Hells. Okay.
We're gonna search for his name first.
Callista, the wildest thing is there is no dog when he just goes, look, and you see empty space.
Incredible.
But you do bump into something if you step in that space.
Okay.
Well, doesn't Proximus see Bowie though? Because
I
he's
see.
ethereal.
Proximus
I don't
does. I don't even
I
think
don't
Winnie
think
does.
Bowie has physical form, though. I think we've read
No,
over
but
this.
it's-
Oh,
Oh, I thought he was just invisible.
I think he just like doesn't have.
The hound is
corporeal-
invisible to all creatures except you can't be harmed. So invisible feels like
Callista just thinks Winnie has lost her mind and is like, "Oh, okay." So I was like,
It's
and-
a
official.
lot longer than I thought, to be fair.
yeah, she's like, "Okay, yeah, this is the danger of them all being in the hells. Definitely don't want you touching the fucking river at this point."
Yeah.
Yeah, especially the new rules say no one but you can see the hound. Like it doesn't
Yeah.
give any like,
Mm.
hey, if you can see to this or
Nice.
this,
Oh, yeah.
it's no one but you. So yes, Winnie, you can see what I now imagine is just a cartoon dog that is partially a figment of your imagination. This is like, hi, Winnie.
oh,
Sorry, I
very
just
goofy.
imagined-
Yes.
I
Leave
imagine
yours alone.
I imagined Blue from Blue's Clues.
right.
See, I pictured Gromit, like Wallace and Gromit, like
These are all very valid.
I just want it to be Bandit from Bluey, just an adult dad blue
Oh.
healer that's just like tired to be there.
Clifford.
Wait,
Clifford,
wait.
also very good.
Didn't we
Let's-
decide it was
how
Oogie,
about-
though?
Joy.
Just joy.
You don't want Joy B.
With her little whiptail.
Courage the Cowardly Dog,
Her
also a good
crooked
option.
tail.
Oh,
Wishbone,
Courage,
actually
very good.
Wishbone. It's
Wishbone's great.
Wishbone.
these are all very good choices.
And obviously,
A lot of great
like,
dogs out there.
Callista is marked as, like, friend to Bowie.
There's like a soft growl before. Like, wait.
Yeah. No. She's cool. Quick, stick your hand out.
Callista, we're gonna try and find his name and then kill him. But other than that, no details. We need to find him first
And not destroy the house.
and get a little bit more scouting in because it is changing.
Okay. I'm.
And at that point, I'll take out the map, or whoever has the map, I'll ask them to.
You have a map?
No, it moves.
Blueprints.
It
Blueprints. The blueprint also moves.
Yeah. It's on the back of the contract. Kind of like a cocktail napkin, except
Okay.
hellish.
Okay, this helps. Here's my concern. Right before we were run out of the city, before I had my pit fiend friend sent after us, the meeting that I had with the essentially crime boss of the Fetters said that he is aware that you all have had dealings with Paimon. Now, if that word got down here to him, I don't know how far that news may have traveled through whatever means. I don't know how he knew, so I don't know who else knows. You have to be prepared for the possibility the Longinus also knows you are coming.
Your friend, well, your whatever his name is, crime boss, did he say that he knew we had just had dealings with Paimon, or does he know of what the dealings are?
The thing about devils is they are quite intelligent. And I think knowing that you all recently had a meeting with Paimon and then appeared in the city of Dis, enough conclusions can likely be drawn.
But what if we've had several meetings with Paimon? Not just the first and initial. He somehow made himself a regular.
I am regretting so much of the decisions I have made today.
You're welcome.
It happens.
To be fair, though, the meetings weren't... a good chunk of the meetings weren't by choice.
That's not true.
Okay, well, I was about to say I was going to find some solace in that. Okay.
I've had were not by choice.
Okay.
I would say about half and half.
Why does he show up all the time?
I look at Scarlett.
Every time Callista hears, but what about like a little part dies?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait.
I promise we're more competent than we look.
Wait, Callista, you do crimes?
No, not exactly.
You
well,
give
that's like
Enforcer
Acacia.
vibes. You really give Enforcer vibes?
Mm-hmm.
The perception of individuals in Dis, and more specifically the Fetters, is that yes, I do crimes, and to keep up appearances, sometimes have done some things that I would much rather not. But
I'm so sorry. That was not a judgmental question. Just so you know, like we all have done major things that could be considered crimes in certain circles.
Would love for you to stop talking. I don't want to know anything else right now. That was rude. My apologies. This has just been a lot in a very short period of time. I knew that I was running out of time in the city, and at some point someone was going to figure out that I have been kind of sabotaging the racket a bit, and I have maybe gotten a little bit bolder about it recently, and it was going to happen. The fact that it did and I still managed to leave the city, I will consider a win. That said, I'm not really sure what happens after this.
You want to see if we can, after we succeed, because I refuse to think of any future where we fail, do we want to see if we can convince Paimon to bring you back to the material?
I don't need him for that.
All right, the offer was there.
I appreciate it. We'll see how this shakes out. Look, if you've had multiple dealings with him, either you are dumber than you look, or what you are doing is truly that important.
It could be both.
This is the only open, contract.
I am only one of those, and I promise it was only because it was a good deal.
I was mainly
Usually
talking
is.
about myself.
Wait,
Those two things are not mutually exclusive, and usually
Yeah.
that is MO. Yes.
Yeah. But, I mean, that's right? Like, all our other deals are complete? Like, they were just trades. They weren't even really deals.
No.
What?
Eh.
No.
Something you want to share, Scarlett?
Yeah, wait, what?
Uh,
What does that mean?
I did what I had to do to make sure that all of you didn't die. We were in the plane of fire. So
oh, right.
What?
Yeah, I'm lost too.
there might be a ongoing agreement that in order to get to where all of you were on the other ship, because I didn't know where you were, payment comes onto the Mercy once a month and can commit business.
Scarlett, what the fuck?
He has a storefront on the Mercy?
That doesn't mean I'm not going to bar the crew from interacting.
I am most concerned about your phrasing that you didn't say conduct business. You said commit business. That is also in itself a bit of a flag. Okay,
Scarlett, the fuck?
if
Callista, I will not say that we have not committed war crimes, because we probably have. In fact, I know we have. So,
No,
It's
we don't
against the
use the
Nereans,
WC
though.
word.
crime?
And Eula.
War crime.
okay.
Yeah.
Now that we've established we are all stained in some way, that's fine. I want to know, and I don't want to know. It's not important right now. If we all live through this, and if I go topside with you afterwards, that's a wild thought.
Been a minute.
Maybe a little bit. Maybe I will ask and you can all fill me in. I don't know how long it's been since I've been up there. I might need a crash course in what I've missed.
We've started a literacy program. It's not all war crimes and killing gods.
I'm sorry.
What?
Demigod.
More like demigods. It's not
Singular.
real.
Singular.
Yeah.
Are you
It's
aware
not
of
really
Eula?
that clear what we were doing, actually. But
Am I aware of EULA, which sounds like you're just talking about the end user license agreement? Have we been killing those? I'm down for that. Nobody reads
I love
them.
when people have that reference point.
We should be so lucky.
I'm
I'm gonna see if I can find her hot art.
Religion check with disadvantage, because that is not the name you would
Okay.
if you knew about this at all, not the name
Okay.
you would know her by.
Well, I'll roll the second one for disadvantage anyways, but that was a 2 on the first one. So yeah. So that's a total of 9. But
You seem to recall something like there's been enough shades and souls that have come down here that a few of them have talked about like this sea hag that used to have a bunch of influence, and like they were kind of like split between making a deal with her and making a deal with one of the like infernal denizens, and they went with an infernal denizen, but they were like, you know, she had a nice smile and like she seemed to be offering some good stuff. I thought I'd be able to talk my way out of this. She didn't have a written contract, so I thought I'd be able to talk my way out of the infernal contract, but I didn't read the fine print, and so I'm a shade now. That's kind of like how a couple of conversations have gone.
Cool,
But other
cool,
than
cool.
that, definitely not
Okay.
giving off god vibes or
Okay.
at least demigod vibes.
okay, interesting. Okay. Do you intend to make a habit of killing gods or demigods?
Only if they deserve it and like come at us.
It's a we don't swing first, but we will finish the fight situation.
Yeah, that.
I can respect that. Lots to catch up on at another time. Blueprints. You have blueprints.
We have blueprints. Derek, do the blueprints also include the grounds outside the
It
mansion?
extends somewhat. There's
Okay.
there's kind of like the property area.
Yeah.
So it would
Property
extend
lines.
down to pretty much. Yeah, I like that Eva said it was like the back of a cocktail napkin, whereas I was thinking it was more like the back of the Declaration of Independence and National Treasure. Either one's
Yes.
great.
Big napkin.
Yeah, real big napkin.
There's nothing saying that we can't use the contract as a napkin.
There's not. That feels like a clause that should be in there, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you would be able to roll out the contract, rather lengthy contract, very fine print, all in infernal, but on the back of it you would see a not really shifting too much at this point. It's subtle, if it's at all. It's like a door slowly sliding against like one of the walls, and what you would see is a large estate, very castle compound like. It does seem to run up against the river Styx. It is beachfront property, and depicts there's like a small garden area, a courtyard, several other like spatial kind of rooms, and then at the far end of it, almost like what's kind of shape, like you think more of like the courtyard area is like being a square, and then there is a elongated throne room kind of looking thing as it kind of extends upwards, and it seems like that would be the seat of power of this estate for anyone who might be visiting.
It doesn't show people, right? It just shows the rooms. Okay.
None of that HP map
Yeah,
shenanigans.
Nah,
yeah,
bro,
yeah.
map shit, nah, fuck
Footsteps.
that.
Yeah. God, that'd be cool though.
I was thinking that same exact thing though.
Proximus looks at his hand again. Is he still glowing?
Yeah. Not any more or
I-
less than before, but yeah, give enough to soft glow.
I don't think I'm going to be helpful in sneaking or being. I should probably be a diversion.
Or we can get you a cloak.
I thought about if I turn invisible, which I do have, being able to sneak in. But if they can see me, regardless, it's not going to be helpful. And I would rather set up a B plan that if you are close to being caught, that I can be a diversion.
Would
Of
you
some
like
kind.
to be a sugar glider again?
I
Or
will
some
still-
other small animal?
But if somebody has true sight, they can see me for what I am.
But you will be harder to notice.
This is true.
2 clarification questions. First is, he's like glowing, but like, is he like giving off light? Like, if he was like hiding in a shadowy corner, is somebody be like, there's light coming around this thing, there's a person there? Or is it just like, essentially like a fairy fire kind of thing?
It's more of a fairy fire sort of thing.
Okay.
He's not giving
Mm.
off enough light that there is like a radius to him.
Okay.
It's nothing you would equivalent with like a torch. It doesn't even go off a 5-foot radius. But if he was standing in a shadowy corner and you could see that corner, it would look like there was something softly glowing there.
Okay.
It's more of like, it's not like nightlight. It's more like something that was like glow in the dark that hasn't gotten enough sunlight. So it's just that very like soft kind of glow.
Cool.
I know I'm wearing the shark. I just wear it.
Yeah, he's
when I-
here. I mean, it's not totally
he's
inappropriate.
doing great. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So it's yeah. So there's that, and then we also experimented with making him invisible, and we were like, there's no necessary like not a good reason to keep it because a lot of them do have true sight, but that did also suppress at least the glow part, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I'll bring those 2 things up while we're talking about plans here, being like, it's not that he's going to draw attention just by
Right.
virtue of the glow, but if somebody was already seeing him, they'd be like, well, that's interesting, kind of
Right.
that
When he
that
would
kind
glow
of.
even as a sugar glider, but you can also like hide him under a cloak.
Yeah.
To where he's not going to be given off enough light to shine through the cloak. So there's that as well.
I'm gonna work on some stuff. You talk amongst yourselves.
I truly don't want to hide my light.
I
Well,
don't think
then
it's
never mind.
super necessary.
I mean,
This
I am
little
here.
is mine. I'm gonna let him shine.
My God.
I have an important question for all of you because I don't know ultimately what you're getting out of this deal. And I want to point out when the contract came up, I'm making a point of not touching it. I don't want my stank on that at all. I don't want to open any doors to some contract shenanigans. Be like, well, you touched it, so now you're
Your
in on
name is
this.
on it. Yeah.
Fair.
Smart.
I don't know exactly what your deal is. I don't know what you get out of it. I don't know if there is a penalty for you not completing it other than you just not getting what you intend out of it.
Oh, if we don't do it, we're probably going to die, and then we're fucked. Let's be
Okay.
realistic.
I don't think that's part of the contract, though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
die
To
by
be clear, like that's an inference. Like that's valid.
Oh yeah,
but-
it's not by the contract, but like we will likely just be, in service to the fuckers down here.
That gets to the point of my question. If it gets bad, you need to be prepared for the idea of whatever you're doing. If it is something worth dying for, or if it's better to abandon it and find another means to your goals. And you don't have to tell me what that is right now. I don't know if this is a conversation you've all had, but I do need to point out that it's one thing if you are willing to die for whatever this cause is. You need to make sure your friends are willing to let you die, because that's what gets you. If they're not willing to let you go, everyone is in immensely more danger immediately.
I'm pretty sure we had this conversation below table. I'm pretty sure we have discussed a couple times that like it's not worth dying for, right? I mean, like ultimately, like
Knowing where the rings are?
I mean, right? Like
Are we
Really?
discussing the rings right now?
I don't think we have discussed it, Winnie.
was that genuinely an above table conversation?
I think if it's not a conversation you all have had, I think it's great this is happening in character because this is Callista.
No,
Callista's like this is
Yeah.
a thing you all need to have decided.
No, I'm pretty sure we did have this conversation because we were talking about like as long as the Empire doesn't have them, and we know where most of them are.
But we haven't actually talked about like if someone's gonna die, do we let them die or do we all?
Oh yeah,
just-
no, we didn't talk about that part.
we
which
haven't
is kind
talked
of
about
important.
that.
We
But
talked about the rings and if it's better to know where they are or
No, we've had that conversation.
I guess
I'm
I just sort of assumed if the rings weren't as important, like why would we let anyone die for them? You're right. This is a good thing to be on the same page for.
Winnie, we're also all pirates. The
That's
likelihood
different. Like if you
the
get
likelihood
rammed
of us
by a
dying on a-
cannonball, that's totally different because we're like out on the sea and like
we
Yeah,
are
there's a difference
essentially
between-
working.
There's a difference between dying on the sea and dying somewhere where we can't get out, where we will be stuck if we die.
yeah, and for like a cause that isn't just like getting from point A to point B and maybe stealing a ship or two. Like, I'm not. Well, I need to have a couple conversations before I die, so I guess I'd like to not do that anytime soon, because I don't know where I'm going at this point, and I don't really want to find out. But,
Your Curdlemac problem.
the
That's what
Curdlemac
happens when you
problem.
promise your soul to more than one person, Winnie.
I didn't mean to. I need to figure out who comes out on top. Like, it's like rock, paper, scissors. Which one's rock? Which one's paper? Do I need to find a third one to be scissors? Callista, you're a cleric. Do you know?
Do I know what?
Like, is there like a hierarchy?
Is it first come, first serve on
Yeah.
the soul? Or is it who is the strongest? Who do you worship more?
Do they have to arm wrestle for me?
It depends.
Does it just default to Deep Shayless because, like, sea elf stuff?
Calista, you can roll a religion check if
Cool.
you want to.
Oh my god,
You're-
Winnie might actually get an answer.
Actual answer.
That is a dirty 20 on this.
Oh, hell yeah.
Great. I think that the answer is probably not what Winnie wants to hear, which is Winnie is presuming that a soul has to be a singular, in one piece thing. Souls can be rendered, separated, and much worse than that, as you have literally seen. Bits and pieces. Bits and pieces, Winnie.
Lease with the option to buy.
Yeah, in a very diplomatic kind of way. I think there is a deep breath and it can depend on how you have bound yourself to these various entities and a bit on the where it is that you perish. I think all rules go out the window if you die down here.
That makes sense.
I would spend some time sorting out some of that when you get back topside. You can have some influence over it. It depends on what promises you've made to who and where their powers lie. But one place to go isn't... You may not have just one destination, and they will not arm wrestle, but they will call it tug of war with a fragile rope.
Maybe I should read my book.
I think that would be a great idea.
But everyone else, correct me if I'm wrong, but like, is this a cause that we specifically are planning on dying for?
I can only talk for myself and how I would look at this situation. First things first, I don't plan on failing. First things I learned back at the guild was you don't think about what would happen if you would fail. That's more, because then it's more likely to happen. Period.
Sure.
So I try not to do that. But I'm the type of person that would stubbornly go forward to succeed anyway. But I will, if you all decide to flee, I will follow, if reluctantly.
Well, yeah, we don't have to be happy about it. That's fair.
But I will go with the group on this. If we go forward, we'll go forward. And I would prefer to go forward, even if that means death. But if the rest of you want to flee and think it's the best idea, I'll follow.
I
Good to
fully
know.
anticipate on surviving this entire thing.
Yes. Yes.
So I feel like the whole death thing is a little... I just don't see it as an option.
What I will say is this. If you know this is not something you're willing to die for, and the contract specifically does not penalize you for not completing it beyond you just not getting whatever your reward was supposed to be. My number one rule is always have an exit strategy, and I have one, and it can include you all if you would like it. That is why I bring it up.
I mean, the more options, the better, right? That'd be really nice of you. What are your terms?
No terms.
Okay, that's even nicer of you.
Proximus, what are your thoughts on this?
I am not going to leave one of you behind. Just know that. But
If you die, Dominaria would kill us.
listen. I give you an oath of the moment. I will protect you and I will not leave anyone behind. But if I need to, I will die for you. The ones here. Not the ring, I could care less. I am here for you. But if I do go down, then please return this glaive to Dominaria. And he'll cut his hand and take it across the blade and put it on the gem in the glaive. This must get back to her. I am not here for the ring, just so you know. I never have been. Or any of them. I am here for all of you.
Sometimes I don't think we deserve you, Proximus.
We don't. But, like you said, I would do anything for you all. Just not the ring. I mean, I love my brother, but, like, we don't even know if we're going to give the rings to him. So, like, that's neither here nor there.
He puts a hand on Scarlett's shoulder, and we have broken oaths before. We have broken contracts before. This is no different.
Just a normal Tuesday for me.
It seems to be.
To be clear, when he's like rolling up the contract that they currently have out, not planning on breaking this contract. Nope, no siree. Puts it back in the tube.
Yeah, I would like to not break this one.
I don't know.
To be fair, for the person who was not there when we negotiated terms, is there a way to just not complete the contract and we just don't get anything in return? Was that a clause that we added?
I think it was. But we also don't have like a free ride out of hell either. Like,
yeah.
Well, I have
you do,
shift,
yeah,
which I think would get us out. But
yeah, we just hadn't
honestly
negotiated
the way that it kind of worked was Paimon was really coming to you all hat in hand. That's why there's not a lot of like he's really asking for you all to do a lot of work and is offering you something in return. It is a very straightforward contract. Like, it, you know, presumably Scarlett was there. There wasn't a lot of like, oh, this subsection this subsection this.
Mm-hmm.
It was very much I've asked a lot of people to do this. They've all fucking died. I'm asking you all now, and I have something that you want. So quid pro quo. It's honestly like, if Callista's hearing this, this might be the most quid pro quo deal she's ever heard come from a devil before.
Well, and she could still read it like it was out. And this is an
it was out, but we were looking at the back where where our blueprint was drawn.
Yeah, Winnie would flip it over if you did want to read it without touching it.
I'd take a peek.
Yeah,
because it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah,
no loopholes. We had a lot of eyes on it.
We crowdsourced. Our finest minds.
Yeah, they're being tasked with removing the Chancellor Longinus from his power and the estate of Umberlith Manor. Whether they do that through violence or otherwise is optional. However, violence does seem to be the most straightforward to removing a devil. They don't really do a lot of things that they're just asked to do. And in return, depending on the amount of damage to the estate that is incurred through their endeavors, they can receive the information of several, I think up to 5, the location of 5 elder rings, which might not be something that Callista is overly familiar with that terminology.
Okay.
But yeah, it does say that they will receive the exact known location and owner, if applicable, of up to 5 elder rings.
Minimum 2,
Minimum.
And 2 things from their vault.
Yes, the 2 things from the
Each.
vault that they are.
Yes.
They're welcome to.
I was like,
2 things
that's
each
very
that you're
important.
welcome to dive through.
Damn.
Yeah.
I think in looking at it and knowing that it actually says things about Elder Rings on there, I think also seems like a lot of trouble to go through for some jewelry.
I mean,
We have our reasons.
I'm sure you do.
The very fancy rings.
I love this not a lie bullshit you all are doing.
Melissa seems like wants to know what she needs to know.
that one lady wore it as a ring. It's valid.
And so did
Which
the
one?
Giant King.
Oh yeah, the giant.
That's who I meant. Yeah.
Yeah.
Although while we're here, just as a question, Callista, have you ever heard of Elder Rings? Or happen to have seen one, perhaps?
Or Giant Kings.
Or Giant
Sorry.
Kings,
It just
honestly.
it
Yeah.
just rhymed. Sorry.
No, that's fun. I like that.
As far as giant kings go, there are fire giants that come down here every now and then. In
Perfect.
fact, you might have seen some come through the fetters not that long ago.
It
but,
feels like a reference.
Oh no.
Yeah, you'll never see them again, thanks to the endeavors of our party recently.
Perfect.
As far as Elder Rings, we can do this a roll, or you can tell me whether you would or not.
I mean, Jen doesn't have a ton of context.
Sure.
So
MacGuffins. They're
Yeah.
the pretty big deal that our campaign's kind of surrounding right now, circling around right now.
here's what my question for you would be.
Mhm.
As far as MacGuffins and things like that go.
Sure.
This is related to a conversation maybe I should have had between games. Let's say, hypothetically, that I was part of like a kind of like adventuring group for a while before I ended up down here, and let's say that we were on the hunt for something where maybe we ended up biting off more than we could chew, and some of the party, like to the point where like some of the party died from it. It was important enough to do that. Would this be in that kind of category that I
For
might
sure.
be aware of them in that? Oh,
Maybe even like 1 tier above that.
okay.
Yeah. This party has gone through a lot to even discover that Elder Rings are a thing.
Okay.
What I will give you is just this is mythology of the world. Elders existed.
Mhm.
We have evidence that they did. They like archaeologically have dug up the ruins and some of their old technology, and they seem to be some of the first beings. We're not exactly sure what they looked like or who they were, but they seem to come even before the gods.
Okay.
And they were some of the first to imbue magic into physical objects through their language which can be written down, but also our party has learned recently, when spoken, is more like song. And as they disappeared, the mythology goes that they spread themselves out, far beyond the atmosphere and became stars. That they are literally a ring around the planet, and that those are elder shards. And the mythology goes that if you can call down one of these, if you can wish on a star, it will give you a literal wish. And our party discovered that literally. They were able to find elder technology that brought down an elder shard that gave them a wish spell, which is how they were able to defeat a demigod, essentially.
Cool.
So yeah, maybe your party was looking for elder shards, maybe digging for elder technology, also a popular thing. A lot of MacGuffins in the world,
Cool.
but elder technology kind of is a source of a lot of them.
Okay, incredible. And that's a thing that like anybody would know. Elder mythology, elder tech and items and whatnot. So maybe even if I hadn't specifically heard of like Elder Rings, it's like I can context clues my way into some of that.
Yeah, you at least know that it has
Cool.
something to do with them. I don't think you've ever heard that exact terminology.
Perfect.
But
Okay,
you
great.
do know that it's something to connect to the stars.
Okay. Wonderful. Love that. Then to rewind all the way back into this conversation, when you ask like if I've heard of it before, I'll be like, I'm not familiar with Elder Rings, no, although other Elder artifacts, sure. So I can put enough together to understand that this is important, and especially if Paymon's offering information for 5 of them, and that is enough to get you down here. Even if I don't understand fully what the stakes are, I can understand the importance.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Now that we're here, I feel like we kind of settled pretty. Like we're getting stuff out of it, but this is a pretty big ask. The more and more I think about it.
But to be fair, Rollin only knew so much. That's
He
5
did.
unknown. Like, who knows how long it would have taken to get the locations
Well,
of the others.
3, 2.5. Because we have the one, we have 2, and then he was stressing about the 3rd. He was having a real rough time. So we were going to kind of stall out here in a little bit. I don't think he's sleeping real well.
Well, as far as getting into the estate goes, there are certainly multiple approaches to it. If you think you're going to be able to get around and try to find his name, we should try to be as stealthy about it as we can, but there needs to be a decision on some kind of signal for we're abandoning the quiet method.
That would be mind linking.
Yeah, this is a very handy tool you have.
Yeah.
No, it was very useful when I was back in the Thieves Guild.
If we need an exit strategy, be close to me.
Will do.
Be aware, when I say an exit strategy, there is no coming back to finish this contract.
Oh, absolutely.
That seems reasonable.
I don't think we would get a second chance if we do need to use the exit strategy.
I don't know. He seemed pretty desperate. If we said we were going to go back, I think he'd probably let us. I don't want to.
I'm talking about the other party.
Oh, yeah. I know we're not there and we don't really know exactly what our plan of attack is, but I don't really want to split up too much on this if we can help it, just to be clear.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it'll work. He probably has his name protected against divination, but I do have locate object ready to use. But I don't expect it to work, unfortunately.
Frankly, I do not either. That would be a massive oversight on his part. Although there is the possibility that he's arrogant enough to think nobody's going to get close enough for that kind of thing to work.
God, I hope. Derek, where on the map does it say, like, the master bedrooms?
It doesn't. There aren't. He doesn't. Nobody sleeps in hell.
Oh, that's right. Okay, but, like, private chambers.
Nobody sleeps in hell.
Like, what would be the private, like, master chambers? Like, there's gotta be... Everyone needs privacy.
Everybody needs privacy. So you can see that there is a kitchen, there is a dining hall, dining room, I guess, but it is like, it's a hall, you know, in the sense that you can see that there is like a long table, windows, and everything. You can see that there is a study, which is, it's connected to the library, like they're not separate rooms, but they're like demarcated separately. You can see that there are staffing quarters, and then there is the what do I call it? The Great Hall, the throne room, and that seems to be like, if he is going to be anywhere, he's going to clear that out. But there's nothing else necessarily noted as like, this is a place just for him.
I'm also trying to think if there is any backup plans we can solve this, as in trying to get him to willingly give up the title and estate. But I'm not sure what would work. That's like plan Z, though.
Yeah, I truly don't see a path forward on that.
No, I definitely want to him. But it'll be easier if we can get his name.
Do we know any, like... I say we. Callista, this is really a question for you. Do you know anything about him, or like his circle, or like... Oh, like his... Like, is he ostentatious? Is he secretive? Is he... I don't know. Like, other adjectives.
On that train of thought, though,
Yeah.
it might not be a bad idea to keep an ear out to, like, the staff to see if they're dissatisfied with him.
Oh, they most certainly are.
Maybe we can enlist their assistance to get rid of him.
Revolution.
So Hyman comes back. Because if they'd rather have Hyman...
Maybe.
Those are two different thoughts. There is no way they like him.
Lesser of two. Or maybe they can just help us kill him.
Yeah, they don't have to know, like, the second step.
Anything else? Just say, hey, do you want him dead? Cool, we're going to do that.
I'm getting some unhinged ideas. Okay.
Same.
Calista, I think there is a pause in your thoughts then, as your conversation is interrupted by the sound of bells ringing. It's a mixture of both like ship bells you might hear for like an all hands on deck, mixed with like gothic church bells. The sound of them indicates that like the clapper is probably the size of your head, and these bells are probably made of this massive cast iron, and they're coming from the top deck and from your position in this corner. Despite the muffled sound and everything, you can hear the sound of footsteps all just running on the boards above you all. And you can hear shouting from above as well.
Does this feel like the normal level of chaos and activity for Navik's usual business dealings along the river, or does this feel like it is out of the ordinary?
Let's say you might have been on this ship a couple of times before. This feels irregular in the sense that typically, like, ferry boats, as they're still called, have a sort of, pull about them. They ferry the dead and the damned. Like, they aren't typically noisy. Kind of defeats the purpose a little bit.
No.
This definitely sounds more like a warning bell than anything else.
Would you say it sounds like a black spot?
I might. And that's where we're going to go ahead and take our break.
No!
So when we come back, we're going to take about 10 to 15 minutes. Please, as we are going to do the things, pet your pets, take care of yourself, get a snack or something like that. When we come back, we'll have you more Horizons call for you. Again, joined by the very lovely Jen from Long Dog Dice. I highly recommend checking out Long Dog Dice and getting yourself a gorgeous set of dice. You can check out social media and see maybe something that somebody here might be getting in the near future. Wink. Yeah, maybe. And you can also use code Sword and Key for 10% off your first purchase. We have a number of discount codes for some really awesome affiliates. The ad reel has everything in it, so please check that out. And please consider tipping to our pally to give us even more black spots, or advantages or crits or anything like that. We'll be back shortly. See ya. Vast and welcome back. Welcome back to Horizons Call. Let's go ahead and jump back into things. Our crew, joined by their most recent companion, Callista, played by the very lovely Jen from Long Dog Dice, have begun sailing down the River Styx aboard the a ship that is captained by Navik, a Marinloth, essentially a ferryman, much as Charon. The ship, the Damned, seeks to take them to Umberlith Manor, whereupon they are gonna try to deal with a an infernal chancellor and see if they can talk and or fight their way to figuring out the location of some Elder Rings, but also have a backup plan just in case things happen to go bad and they need to cut ties entirely. Nevertheless, through your conversation, bells begin to ring above, seemingly warning bells, heavy tolling bells that indicate that something might be wrong. And as you hear the pitter-patter of devil feet above, what would you like to do?
I would like to remind everyone that crying is a free action.
This sounds like something we weren't going to get involved in, but
Yeah,
I can't
he
tell if this is.
explicitly said.
I should go and look. You can all stay here if you would like.
Should
I will
you?
let you know.
Do you want to?
Do I want to? Absolutely not. But
Okay.
arrangements and all that.
Hold on, before you go, and I'm
Yeah,
gonna reactivate Mind Link
Okay.
because we had a short rest, so it's gone. 6 hours. Let's go.
Nice.
That's solid. That will be very helpful. Yeah.
6 out of 6.
And I will leave our little protected area and head up to see what's happening.
I'm gonna go. Proximus is gonna go with. Before he does, though, he is going to use his channel divinity and give off the aura of the infinite seas. Everyone take 10 temporary hit points.
Thank you. And I'm gonna give Calissa some bardic inspiration, which is just little Jeffrey and I harmonizing a "come back soon"
Incredible.
and safe. We're still working on it.
Thank you.
So, Callista, you,
Yes.
just you? I'm sorry, was anybody else joining Callista?
Proximus, right?
Yeah, just me and
Yeah,
Proximus.
I'm going. Yeah.
What's
Okay.
your bardic?
Oh, that's a very good question. I'm super glad you
D6?
asked because that's important. Yes, D6. And
Okay, perfect.
10 minutes.
Cool. Got it.
So the paladin and cleric leave all of you thoroughly undefended. No, they go running up the side. No, that was just Sea Bear's face. The two of you go running up the steps to the top deck and see that like Shade, Skeleton, Devil, everyone is kind of like leaning over the edge of the ship. You're looking out now to like the breadth of the river Styx, and you can see that they have like dropped nets and are like reeling them back in, but no one seems to be paying attention to that right now. And Mr. Prick comes kind of like waddling up to you.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. We were doing our best, but you know things happen. So your contract
What
didn't matter that much, right, Blue Guy?
What things happen?
Well, we were doing our business. You understand, fishing for souls and all that, so that we can convert them into soul coins and make money. And I mean, it's just what we do, right? The river Styx flows with shades, and that's where we get them. You know, no one cares about them. That's why they're in the river in the first place.
Get to the point.
We attracted some unwanted attention, and if we can just keep ourselves quiet enough, and I mean, relatively, the bell isn't really a thing.
You do understand at times of emergencies, specificity works much better than whatever you're doing now.
Mr. Prick turns to look at you, and he like opens his mouth, puts a finger, and then like his eyes go wide. He goes,
Why are you glowing?
What? Is there something going on? Obviously, there is an emergency. Can we talk about this later?
Proximus, you look over your shoulder. There are other ships in the water. You are not the only one that is flowing downstream. Go ahead and give me a past perception. You see something moving in the water. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Ooh. Oh, a natural 1 for a 6.
Right.
It's a little too murky for me.
Callista, you absolutely see this as your eyes, like Proximus is just like, I guess, way too intent on correcting Mr. Prick here.
Yeah.
As you see a massive fin crest out of the water, and as Mr. Prick goes, Captain, he's glowing! You, Callista, look over your shoulder, Proximus, not one or not, you see this. A massive hammerhead-like shark face emanates out of the water, beaching, not beaching, what do I want to say? Crashing itself like a failed Free Willy onto another ship, just so much smaller than yours, and sinking it in a single blow. And Navik just yells out, "Devil Shark!" Let's go ahead and roll for initiative.
Good.
First it was were sharks, then it was blink sharks, and now it's devil sharks.
We're in an
Oh.
oceanic world, and I have a stat block for Devil Shark that I was like, well, I'll never get to use this.
And
Psych!
yet, here we are.
And here we are nonetheless. Yes, very much like a hammerhead. If the hammerhead shark had curved into horns, you see this red,
Dope.
sandpaper-like exterior body with these horrifyingly overlapping teeth, as this thing is just crunching on what's left of the ship. Its tail is thrashing in the water, splashing all over the place, as these two halves of the ship, now separated, are being just devoured
He seems
by
happy.
this shark. He's having a great time. So, a little too loud there. There we go. You know that there are other ships in the water. However, Navik seems to have an issue with one of you giving off a certain glow that might attract this shark. Okay, let's get some stuff here. So, Callista got a 12, Acacia got a 14, Winnie 16, Proximus 22, and Kayla, did you put yours in? I'm trying to see here.
Oh, it's
4
there.
for Kayla. Okay. Alrighty, I will close up there, and we're gonna get Devil Shark in here.
Derek, Is it
yes.
safe to assume that those of us still below decks
As soon as I saw the shark come up, I was like, you need to get up here.
but also I'm assuming we felt like the waves from that jump and
For sure.
capsizing hit the ship.
Yes. I'm going to say that there's not going to have to be any turns of getting up to the top deck. If anything, the shark hasn't reached you yet, but you have at least a turn order where it's not necessarily gonna be able to reach you, but it seems to be thrashing that tail and now redirecting its attention. So let's see. Winnie had a 16.
The fuck is it? The fuck is going on?
Shark. There's a
Proximus,
shark.
You are going to be first. So if you would like to decide what you would like to do.
How far is it away?
I'm going to say it is a couple hundred feet away. The ships don't sail too close to each other, and the River Styx is pretty large. So, yeah, it's pretty decent. I'm going to say 250 feet.
Do I see any, familiar with ships? So, is there any weapons, siege weapons, like we have on our ships that I can see?
Let's say this is a galleon. I'm going to say that it has 2 small ballista located at the front of the ship that have these jagged harpoon protrusions coming out of them.
Okay, so I'm going to use my movement to get to the ballista. I know how to fire these, but I'm going to load it. I'm going to take my turn to load it if it's not already loaded.
It is loaded.
Yeah, I'm going to aim that bitch and fucking fire.
Okay. Give me 1 second, because I do need to pull that up. But there is our turn order. And let's see here.
Let me see. I think I have it up right here. Oh.
Yeah, you have it great.
Look at DMG chapter 8. Whoopsie.
Yeah. And then... Okay, where is... So many here.
Oh, +6 to hit.
Okay.
Range
that's
120 to 480.
Okay. So you'll be at disadvantage for firing it, but you absolutely can fire it. Okay.
Ooh, an 18 and a 16. So I will take the 16 +6, 22 to hit.
That does hit. Yeah.
And it says 3d10 damage. That's it? Yeah. All right. That is 17 points of piercing damage.
Okay. Fantastic. So Proximus, you run to the front of the ship. You run to the bow of the ship. You push a skeleton out of the way, crumbles into bones, and starts like piecing himself back together as he does. But you aim the ballista, even with disadvantage, seeing through that murk. You have that the shark is like enough above the water. You maybe whisper, "Smile, you son of a bitch," and fire that ballista bolt, and it sinks firmly into the devilish flesh of this shark. Almost, I mean, like a little thorn in the side of this otherwise gargantuan creature. Like the spear is almost the harpoon was almost as long as you, and as it flies, you kind of get perspective of how big this shark actually is, as you can't even see it in the side of this thing, but it sinks in all the same, and this thing lets out this horrible infernal type roar and begins to dive beneath the waves once again. Is there anything else for your turn?
Yeah, as a bonus action, I am going to use 3 sorcery points and recall Smokey. So from the shadow, all of a sudden the eel hound jumps out and joins me at the front.
Okay. Yeah, Smokey standing by your side just kind of looks at you, looks at the ballista. It's like, I don't have thumbs, but he's there for emotional support. He's your emotional support shadow mastiff.
I give him some scrubbies behind his ear.
There you go. Okay, it is the devil shark's turn. It has absolutely noticed all of you and is going to come absolutely barreling through the waves, fin above the water, chipped and scarred, as if it's seen a lot of contact with shark things before. But there is literal blood in the water, and this thing has definitely targeted all of you. As it is just like racing through the waves, it's cutting through. There's water, being almost like just sliced through the middle by this central fin. Its head rears up out of the waves, these two horns kind of cresting behind it, and it is going to shoot freezing breath at all of you. This is enough to get the entire ship, so I will get saving throws from all of you. This is a Constitution save.
Is anyone within 10 feet of me?
Yeah, I was gonna ask if were we able to get up to the deck before all of this.
Yeah, I think everybody was able to get up to the deck, but I don't think anyone's within 10 feet of Proximus because he ran to
because
the
I ran
far
yeah.
end
Okay.
of
Yeah.
That's fair.
22.
Door to 20.
Great.
Natural 2, but I think I'm gonna use my inspiration from earlier.
Bad idea.
Save all my advantages, and I'm just gonna take it. I'm at a 13.
I got a 10.
Yeah, I got a 10.
Okay.
Bad roll. Terrible roll.
Wait, you got a 10 even with your aura?
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Yikes.
oh no!
Yeah. 3 plus 7. Ooh.
So Callista's probably closest to me. Like, I can't. Proximus is far away, right? I will shout a warning to Callista, and you can add +5 to that.
Okay, 18. Oh, I do have the Bardic.
Oh, you also have that, but I also have Flash of Genius. So.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm at an 18.
For an 18 exactly?
Yes.
Perfect. You succeed.
Okay. Your phrasing scared me. Exactly.
Anything below an 18, you are going to take 50 points of cold damage. For everyone else, that is 25. And if you got below an 18, you were also pushed 20 feet back. So Proximus, you not only take that damage, you are shot from the ballista, tumbling and rolling. Not the only one, by the way. Other devils and skeletons are all kind of shoved back as well. There's a couple that are able to duck under, but now there's a coat of frost that is covering the ship. And the shark, once again, dips its head down and seems bent on ramming your ship entirely. With that, we are going to go to Winnie.
Must go faster.
That's a lot.
Yeah,
That's
that
a lot.
hurt.
Okay.
It hurt.
Okay. Okay. Okay, this is good to know.
How close is the next closest ship?
Next closest, the ships are all trying to flee at this point.
I know.
So whereas you maybe had a couple of
They
hundred feet before, they are cutting and running. The next closest
Thanks for
ship
taking
is probably about
aggro.
200 feet as well.
Dang it. Okay. All right. That's fine. You said he dove. Can I see him?
So the fin is still above the water. The
Okay.
head is beneath the water. But
Okay.
yeah.
In which case, we're going to throw a little bane at this balls. Yeah, fine. Charisma saving throw, please.
Okay.
I can imagine it's charismatic.
+2 charisma.
It's
But that's only
intimidating.
4, so that's only a 6.
Okay. So
Yeah.
Oh, it does have advantage on saving throws against spells and magical effects. But that's... Oh, that's an 18. So that's a dirty 20. I'm sorry. It does have magical resistance.
free action to flip him off. Okay, I guess that's what I'm going to do for now.
Okay.
Is Proximus within 60 feet of me?
I think at this point 60 is probably reasonable.
It's a big ship, so oh god, this is not a lot. I fucking hate this spell so much. But I'm gonna do it. Fucking seriously.
You're allowed to be mad about it.
Healing Word is the worst spell in this whole
Oh.
fucking game.
I hate it so much. Yeah.
Everyone
They
gets
did-
4 health.
They did make Healing Word better in the new version of stuff. I will give them that.
I-
they
It is a
ruined
bonus
spiritual.
action.
They ruined
accept
spiritual
that.
weapon, but Healing Word got better.
Right.
I would accept that, except that I would have to unlegacy things that would absolutely fuck my character. So I will take it.
Same here. Same here. Yeah, I'm absolutely on legacy rules, 100%.
Yeah. So it's not a lot, but it's something.
I appreciate you.
And I don't know where I am vis-a-vis the railing, but I would like to not be on the railing. Just to be
That's
clear.
fair. Yes, so the ship is only, was it 5, 10, 15, 20 feet wide. So
Okay,
at its
yeah.
central point, you can only be 10 feet from the railing.
Yeah. Like movement, get close enough to like see the thing, and then move back.
Yeah, it's 130 feet long, 20 feet wide. Okay. Winnie, with that, Acacia, it is your turn.
So
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
You're good.
Little Jeffrey wants to shoot it.
Sure it does.
Of course he does.
Well, he's got to do something, and he's not going to touch him. So, does a 19 hit?
A 19 does.
Stupid little Jeffrey. Always doing better than me. Show off. So that's 7 points of, I don't know, force damage? Force damage.
I believe it's force damage, yeah.
And I'm sorry, Mir.
Shark
No,
on
it's
shark
okay.
violence. All right, Mare. Acacia, what would you like to do?
Okay, so I want to do something, but the spell itself only affects a 100-foot cube, but I'm hoping that it's not I'm going to explain what I want to do, and if you'll let me have it outside of the foot cube, just let me know.
Sure.
Because I think it's cool and a good idea. Second question is you said the ship has sails, but not... Are they down?
They are, yeah.
Cool. I would like to cast Control Winds.
Okay.
so I can give us some speed with the sails.
Okay.
So I can have that out past 100 foot cube.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes!
I think. Cool.
Yeah, in that case, I would like to cast Control Winds and fill those sails with wind to start getting us the fuck out.
Okay. I'm going to say that doubles your ship's speed. So typically a galley has a speed of 4 miles per hour. Thank you. So it's going to be 8 miles an hour now. But essentially it is going to be moving faster than the shark. The devil shark is kind of making like a trajectory to intercept you. But you're kind of like almost cutting past it at this point.
Yeah.
So you see the ship almost like coming to the point where the shark is starting to ram and then bypasses the shark. So the ballista will have to turn around if you do want to use that again. I'm not going to say you can't. We're doing a very much theater of the mind kind of combat for this. But the shark will now have to try to catch up with all of you.
Yeah. So Acacia's just waving her staff around, making that wind appear. The goal here is to not outrun the bear, just outrun the people that are with you.
Great.
And as my bonus action, I'm going to finally use that elixir of healing when he gave me in the hells.
Perfect. All of you here in your minds, come back food.
Oh, I hate that.
With that, Callista, it is your turn.
With our new position versus the shark, if I went to a railing edge with a rope of some kind wrapped around my arm, can I be within 60 feet of the shark?
For sure.
Great. I would like a charisma saving throw from the shark, please.
We can do that. That was a 1 on the first one and a 6 on the second, so that's only an 8.
Great. I cast banishment.
Okay.
So, since he's native to this plane, I can't make him permanently go away, but I can buy us a minute.
Okay. So you all have a minute. That is 10 actions, and the ship is moving pretty fast at this point. So you have the potential to possibly get away here. Is there anything you all would like to do specifically on your turns? We can keep in turn order. So Callista, you have 10 turns. Is there anything specific you would like to do?
I'm so focused on maintaining this concentration, I'm just hanging off the back of the ship, like arm out in that direction, just keeping eyes, and that is my focus for now, because anything else I would do also requires concentration. So I'm chilling.
Great. Okay. Scarlett, 10 turns. Anything you would like to do?
I'm trying to read on a specific thing. Spellsphere doesn't say anything about wind.
What is it that doesn't say about wind?
Storm sphere.
Storm sphere. Let's see. That's not something I'm familiar with. Sphere. Okay, so
I'm just trying to make us go faster. I'm trying to assist Acacia with the making us go faster away from Shark Friend. I have Gust, but it didn't sound strong enough.
Yeah, I burned a 5th level spell slot for this.
I was debating the banishment, and I was like, oh, you went 5th? I can burn a 4th. No, we're good, yeah.
What did Acacia cast?
Control winds.
Control winds.
Nice.
Yeah, I will say, if you want to cast Storm Sphere, since Acacia is already controlling wind, that's just more wind to control, we can triple the ship speed.
Okay, I will blow a 4th.
Cool. So feeling very windy, Callista hanging off the side, you feel the ship jolt forward even more. Now, again, tripling the speed from the original, so 12 miles an hour. Cool. Scarlett, anything else you want to do for 9 more turns?
No.
Just maintain that? Cool. Proximus, we're back to you. You have 10 turns. Is there anything you would like to do?
I mean, I would gust of wind, but it sounds like they have everything taken care of on that. It's not strong enough anyway. So I'll definitely. Is there a rear ballista?
I don't believe there. Well, I'll say there's two because there's technically a galley should have four, so I'll say
Mhm.
there's two on the front, two on the rear because there's no
Two.
mangonels.
Right. So I would go to the rear and just ready anything. So if it pops in, then we're shooting it.
Great. Great. Okay. Then with a prepared action, Winnie, anything for your 10 turns?
In the mind link, I'm gonna ask, hey, Callista, who's on the other ships, do you think? Like, are they nice people?
No one down here is nice.
Okay. Have we caught up to anybody?
Were you trying to catch anybody?
No, I just mean, like, if everyone's trying to get away from the devil shark, like, was anyone going our direction? Are we all, like...
Yeah, there are definitely people going in different directions, but I think everyone's trying to go away from everybody so they don't crash, and also so they don't attract even more attention.
all right.
So,
Don't want
There's also
Winnie
the
to
idea
commit
that the
mass murder. That's fine.
The shark disappeared, which I think might also be creating a little confusion for everyone else who doesn't know.
yeah, there's a lot of worry that if it's beneath the waves, it can come up from beneath the waves. So yeah, a lot of the ships seem to be like veering off in different directions. Some have headed back, some have headed for the shore, although the shore here is very rocky, very inhospitable. In fact, there's like cliff edges over, there's not like clear beaches around here. Navik seems to be steering straight ahead, especially with the added wind. These sails, very tattered, are kind of being like almost blown apart by the wind here, but it seems to be catching enough that it is moving them forward. So yes.
I just realized little Jeffrey's almost dead. Oh no.
Not again.
Not again. I am... Is anyone below half health in this group? Does anyone look like super... Okay, good. Then I'm going to... just wait until it reappears. And, if I can hold my action for that to happen, when it reappears, I want to cast Reduce on it.
Okay. You're traveling fast enough that if it appears in the exact same place, which by all reason it should, you'll probably be pretty far away from it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Matt says we should, since it'll reappear at the same place, we will be 1,000 feet away.
Yeah, that's
So-
good. It's just
Yeah,
so
this
big.
thing-
Like, if it gets within range, like, that's really my only concern.
Yeah, this thing can maybe do 120 feet on a turn.
Okay, then. I mean, you're not going to trick me out of having it prepared, but...
That's fair. Not trying to. Giving you an informed decision.
Yeah.
Okay, well, then, Acacia, you also have 10 turns. Anything you would like to do besides maintaining your wind?
I'm mostly just maintaining the wind and like casting one for now healing word on myself.
Great. Okay. You all have put enough wind into these sails that though they continue to rip and tatter, the ship urges itself forwards. The devil's kind of giving out a little sickening cheer, and the shades kind of just letting out a soft groan that you're not sure is content or discontent. Nevertheless, yes, you have traveled an incredible distance, and as you can maybe in the far distance hear a soft pop as something pops back into existence on its home material plane. You see a splash in the water, and for those of you that have ridiculous passive perceptions, which is pretty much all of you, you would be able to see in the very far distance that fin curves in the water, spins, and seems to be traveling upriver, not downriver. It seems to be leaving you all be. You all have gotten far enough away and have bypassed a pretty hefty combat, so I guess I don't get to bite and swallow anybody today. That's fine.
Aren't you proud of us for being such innovative players?
There's always
that was
next
very
time.
cool. I really love the gameplay on that. Okay, so we're all out of combat now. Navek comes over to all of you. The ship's still kind of sailing itself a little bit. You actually even see that the steering wheel is maneuvering itself almost idly of its own accord. And yeah, Navek comes over to all of you, and he kind of just nods a little bit, puts out his hands.
I'm very appreciative for everything that you were able to do there, saving my ship and my enterprise. Do you want something in return, or what?
Nobody wants to touch your shit. I just want to say that.
You listened. Good.
But I feel like I did touch something, but it was just a ballista.
We'll forget that one for now. Call it even for being a bit of chum in these otherwise bloody waters. Your glow.
He's a pretty good pal.
Jen. That was me. That was Jen.
I typically don't allow the religious types on my ship. Well then, back to work then.
And he puts like the two long fingers up to the like shadowy face and lets out one of those like dad whistles, and all the devils start scattering back to the nets and lowering them in the water once again.
It's good work, good honest work, selling souls. If you want to cut, you can get to work.
When he opens her mouth, like, and then closes it a couple times, like,
I see you open your mouth, and I just put a hand on your shoulder, not like a hard, just like.
yeah.
The problem with devil sharks, they tend to want to eat the things that we catch. A little competition never hurt anyone, right?
Winnie's gonna go back down below.
I will just wordlessly follow Winnie and just head back down to our little corner.
Die. We didn't touch the water. Didn't capsize. I call this a win.
Navik goes to walk past Proximus and like puts one of the long clawed hands on his shoulders.
You know, I do hate this time of year.
Why is that?
He gestures out to the water, and you begin to see, no perception check, he's pointing right at it. You begin to see these little bits of light floating down water.
You know, you'd think that forgetful waters would let people forget, but some people just don't know how to let go.
Proximus, looking out, you recognize these lanterns. These are very similar to the ones that you and your friends put out for Candletide. And you can see them floating down the river Styx. And every now and then one of those lights snuffs out, and as it does, you see this glow in the water, this bluish glow.
Lost another one. Oh well. There will never be enough, will there?
No, there won't. But we will keep up this tradition. Thank you for showing me this.
I think I would just ask myself if I were you. Will people put out a light for you? Hopefully.
And he like pats your shoulder with like those
Mhm.
long fingers and just turns around, walks back to the quarterdeck.
I think I was hanging back, just like waiting for all of us to go down, and and, like as soon as he says that, and he walks away. Winnie's gonna outlive all of us, and she's gonna leave candles for us on Candletide.
Yeah.
Want to head back down?
Yeah, it's about time.
Mr. Prick comes down.
So, we got a little bit of time now. It seems like the double shark has passed. That's nice. You all just, I'll bring by some food. I think you've at least deserved that for your help there. Okay.
He's like smiling, all these like barbed teeth.
So, if you have any dietary restrictions, I would love to know so I can give you exactly that. Hey, bye.
I'm a
Is it even-
vegetarian.
Is it even edible for humanoids? Is it safe?
He just starts laughing. Just
Oh,
It's a
God.
fucking edible. Oh, it's an edible. Oh.
I do want to ask one thing from you.
he stops.
Yeah.
Do you have maybe a wineskin full of water?
The kind of water you want.
Just regular water.
No.
What kind of water do you have?
Look around.
Winnie,
you,
we're on
sweetheart.
a river.
You want to drink some of that? It'll help you forget all your troubles.
No, I'm good, thanks.
Do you have a wineskin full of that water?
Yeah, sure. Why not? What do you want that for?
I'll take it. Don't
But
worry
didn't we
about
talk
it.
about this earlier with Winnie?
Oh, so Proximus gets his water if
No,
he
no,
wants it.
Callista's like trying to
No,
figure
he
out like
doesn't.
how to find the words again.
Winnie, the scientist.
Wait.
Weren't you listening before, Proximus? No.
The scientist going, listen, I just want
These
some
all these
sulfuric
no's
acid."
in his head, and he just doesn't care. I want the
Then the
wineskin.
jock's like, yeah, so can I get some sulfuric acid? And they're like, yeah.
Yes.
You don't know what to do with it.
That is exactly right.
In the mind link to everyone except
He just smiles
Proximus,
and yeah.
and everyone in the mind link except to Proximus. We need to just Winnie, you and me gotta pickpocket that. Actually, no, I will pickpocket it off of him later.
I'm the one that can handle it. Not not handle it. I'm never ever gonna touch it. No.
I'm gonna throw
I
the
didn't
whole
say I was gonna
water
touch
skin
it.
PP.
overboard.
No, could be really useful.
Exactly.
Water
No.
skin.
Mr.
One-
Prick comes back downstairs after a couple of minutes and hands you the skin, but then he pulls it back real quick. He goes,
You know, actually, one of the nice things about sailing on the Styx is you get to forget your worries.
and he pops the stopper on it and takes a swig real quick. Puts it back on.
What were we doing?
You were giving me that. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah.
Ooh.
Not a worry in the world. I don't remember why, though. That's probably fine. Yeah.
I don't remember if I ever learned your names, and I don't want to know. So,
We never
Bye.
gave them, so
Little Jeffrey.
Win for Mr. Prick.
Little Jeffrey opens his mouth like those trash cans that you step on,
Uh-huh.
revealing the bag of holding if Proximus would like to stash it somewhere safe.
No, he'll attach it to his belt.
Nice
which
try,
case-
Eva.
He's going to, in which case he's going to start chewing on some furniture. I forget periodically that statistically, assuming they live natural lives, Winnie is going to outlive all of y'all, and that makes me sad. every
This
time.
tastes bad.
This is a little depressing.
I'm gonna heal. I'm gonna cast mending on little Jeffrey till he's healed. I knew there was something important I needed to do.
Thanks.
Thanks, Mom.
It's okay, buddy.
I felt sick.
I know.
If I fall up, it's all this stuff in the bag I'm holding.
That's not how that works.
Bleh. Like a
Don't you
bottle
do it.
falls out.
Don't you do it. Callista, could I borrow you for just a second? I got a question for you.
Sure, of course.
Like 2 feet over in their like little sanctum area. I don't know how to find out, and it doesn't seem right, especially now that we're almost there. How do I know who this is? And she's gonna hold out the soul coin.
If she holds it out, I would like to take it and look at it and just make sure it's not
just like
anything remotely familiar for any reason. Just because they've got faces and she doesn't know where some of her people are. So I think just kind of as a moment of...
You know what, Jen? I always appreciate when someone blatantly hands me a knife.
Yeah.
If you would like to recognize this person, you absolutely may. I don't have a specific designated person. I was going to have it be a random person that the party doesn't know. That could very well be a person that Callista knows. If you would like it to be, it certainly can be.
I think I'm gonna go for that.
Also, real quick, just out of curiosity, what is your Constitution modifier?
What a question! +1.
Great. Okay. Good to know.
Oh. I will take it. And I think that for a lot of like the interactions that you've had with Callista so far, there's been the okay, like kind of breaks in stuff while you guys are just dumping all of your lore very quickly, and just saying things that are unhinged. But I think this is the first like crack into something else where there is like kind of like that deep breath and like hitch when you hand it to her. And she's going to say, normally, takes some very, to my understanding and my experience, powerful connection to a divine being, to a god or goddess, and may be able to reach them enough to speak with them through that means and through some perseverance and luck and some other things might be able to help whoever's on the other side of that. I don't need to do that with this one. Do you need this for anything?
I mean, no. You were talking about like gathering them, and I don't know if you can free them or stuff, but it seems wrong to trade in souls if it can be helped.
My hope is to be able to help some of those souls, just to help do what I can to try to get them where they actually belong. If you don't need this one, I would very much like to keep it.
I mean, yeah, are you okay?
No. And then I'm gonna like hold it to myself. But also much more okay than I have been in a very long time. Thank you, Winnie.
Yeah.
I think we were all supposed to run into each other.
Sometimes life is funny like that.
Yes, it is. We should have some kind of plan and maybe get some rest.
Yeah. And Winnie is thinking back about the conversation with Paimon, and the circumstances of how they got that coin. And is going to be dwelling on that for a little while.
Time is going to pass. Is anyone looking to do anything in those idle hours with their idle hands?
Proximus is going to find Callista, hopefully when she is. People are kind of clearing out, getting rest.
Ballista has absolutely gone and been like, you guys have your corner. And I have like fucked off to somewhere else in the ship and was just like fully just by myself. So very easy to have that kind of, because I'm like, I don't want to be around anybody right now.
Yeah, I'll search her out. Where are you?
Oh. Assuming that's in the mind link kind of thing.
Yes.
2 decks down, front of the ship.
Do you mind if I join you?
Yeah, that's fine.
When I get there, small knock on the door. Peek my head in. I was wondering if you had a moment to talk. From one, I saw your powers, and knowing how people treat me down here, is that new or is that how you were treated when you came down here?
It's pretty par for the course down here. I spent a good amount of time in parts of the city where that would go less, not noticed, but more things that people didn't care to engage with. And after I spent long enough down here, it faded.
Yeah.
So I could get a little bit more into the thick of things. Whether that was just the distance or me being granted that boon more directly to remove that connection so I could do what I needed to. I've actually not tried not to dwell on it too much.
And you don't have to tell me why you are here or how long you have been here. That is your story for you. But I know from my past, I have broken oaths and I have gained a little more understanding of what my purpose is. And I believe our paths have crossed for a reason. I would like to, if you are willing, to maybe sit and meditate and pray just for a while.
It's been a very long time since I've been with other people. I would like that very much.
He'll sit crisscross applesauce. That's a callback from a long time ago. Um, and he'll with his left hand hold his holy relic, and with his right hand hold it out to you. Let us hold our hands. And I will cast ceremony, and for the next hour, sit in silence and use atonement. I am just going to use my one crit to ensure that it is DC 20 wisdom saving throw, but whatever, insight check. To bring back whatever link has been lost between Callista and her god.
I mean, is this a thing I have to roll for?
Nope. So this is essentially a spell, right? This is ceremony.
And we're
Michael
married
used
now.
his crit. The roll would otherwise be his.
This is how I trick you into me.
If you guys want me to stay in the game, you could just say that. You don't have to marry me.
That's a different part of ceremony. We're probably going to use later. Ceremony is one of those spells that has so much utility that is only... It's not something that's prepared every day. It wouldn't make sense to use it every day. It is a spell to forge bonds of love. It is a spell to demarcate advancement in life and rites of passage. It is a ceremony to restore faith and restore honor, and it is a ceremony that can reforge connections. I think more than anything, that's what the spell does. It builds bridges, it makes connections, it binds things together. And Callista has been in the dark for so long that she's become pale. She's become like a cave fisher. Been so long separated from her goddess in the pits of the infernal realms. And it has to be jarring at first to feel that sunlight on your skin again after so long. But slowly, steadily, you feel, and it feels like sunlight. Your goddess is one of travel and adventure and storms, and you begin to feel that light not just on the outside but on the inside growing and warming you and spreading through your veins and your musculature and through your very soul itself. And if you find yourself willing, that bridge is built in a place it has never been built before, in a place that your goddess struggled to reach. When she could, it was muted and colored by the reds and blacks and bloody browns of the infernal realm. But now she has this clear tie, and once again you feel that glow about you, and it is a glow. Should you accept it, you find yourself emanating that same light that Proximus does. What is this like for Callista?
I think it's been long enough that she forgot what it feels like. So it is incredibly overwhelming immediately. And I think she does just start like silent tears. And after a few moments, she kind of just lets that go. And I say a few moments. It's probably longer than it should be. And I think probably she's like, Navik is going to be so mad that there's two of us glowing now. Guess it's a good thing I promised him that he'd never see me again. Thank you, Proximus.
You are very welcome. May that light forever guide your way.
Well, I certainly am going to be very lost going back up to the Prime Plane after this, so we'll definitely
Never
need the
forget your
guidance.
never forget your connection, and you'll never be lost again.
So just squeeze your hand.
Thank you for all your help.
Not done yet.
I'll go.
Only if you want.
It's okay. I think you need time for yourself. We all do. Then he'll leave.
Time continues to pass. This will be a long rest, but if there's anything any of you would like to do in the meantime, anything else, now is the time.
Does the bound book work in the hells?
I think so. It's the equivalent of sending. I think sending works between planes.
As it never tried it between planes before.
Yeah, let's. I think it would
Sending
be-
does work between planes, so.
It does. So it should be the equivalent of a sending spell. Yeah, across any distance, even to other planes. If targets on a different plane, there's a 5% chance the message doesn't arrive. So if you want to roll me a D100.
Not a D1000.
That's too many.
Wow. Hold please. Yep. 49.
Yeah, it goes through.
Cool.
Yeah, I've dropped my dice too. What would you like to write?
Bound books aren't for streams.
Oh, okay. I'm so sorry. Well,
They're
whatever
for
it is, you get a
they're for the
response.
Discord afterwards when I figure out what it says.
Fair enough. Okay. Scarlett said, "What's up, boo? Miss you. How's the wedding plan going?"
Literally
Marcus,
still.
like you just left.
Hugs
What are you
and
talking about?
kisses.
Marcus just
Mhm.
staring at his book the whole time.
What's
Why isn't
what's
she
the, what's
writing?
what's the delay rate in that? Since
That's
it's
a good
in
question.
writing. Just takes forever.
That's a good question. Yeah, you can see like the line forming. It's just like it's so slow. It's an I
Like when
and
you can
H
see your
and
friend
L, what are you
typing and you
writing?
see like the dots.
Yeah, Marcus is typing. Cool. Acacia, Winnie, anything for either of you?
Acacia is just catching up on some. There's not really a lot of stuff to do. She's probably like background in like her brain, just thinking of like imagining what will go wrong and like just pretending to go through the heist in her head. But she's also working on she has her little floating armillary sphere that Winnie made her, all sparkly, and the enduring spell book. I forgot that you also gave me that as well. And she's basically writing, putting down star stuff and making and like into written form and making sure constellations match. And she's just basically working on elder shit and constellation star stuff.
Perfect. Yeah, no constellations down here. No stars reach the hells, but at least working with the information you have. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Winnie? What's concerned?
No, I just have too many tools. Winnie is going to do her trance. She's going to make her elixirs for the day, which I will roll on here in a minute. She's going to swap out her spell storing spell, because I don't think web is going to be super useful in hell. And she's going to make enlarge reduce her spell stored item. And
Can't wait.
I don't know why I didn't think of it before. It's brilliant. And I think she's gonna take an hour and switch out her right tools for the job into navigation. Because I think especially reading that like hellish map might be the most useful possibility there.
Okay.
And then she and little Jeffrey are probably gonna draw with his crayons a little bit.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh,
Does
can
his
Winnie-
crowns melt?
Oh, yeah.
Can
Something. Charcoal.
Can Winnie also do some ferrying on that one hoof that didn't get like shaved down?
Yeah. I do actually. So I'll take an hour to make blacksmith's tools. Although it would make sense for me at some point, like
I probably have ferrying
I was
tools
gonna say
on me.
one of the two, like someone.
It's just
I was gonna say-
easier for someone else to do it.
Yeah.
Don't you as an artificer have like a tool for every trade kind of thing where
That's
you
what I
just
was
have-
saying about making the navigation tools, but like
Oh, I see.
because it takes me an hour to swap it over. But like, yeah, blacksmithing tools are. But like, you would think that we would just have like a hoof pick and a rasp somewhere.
I totally do.
Yeah.
It's in my saddlebags.
Yeah. But yeah, no problem. Super happy to do that. But yeah, I don't think there's a lot of other stuff that I would normally do that is appropriate to do in this particular circumstance. Maybe try and commune with Handseeth. Like, maybe spend a little time doing, maybe at the beginning of my trance, just sort of like a quick godlike check-in. No!
Only a religion check with disadvantage.
Disadvantage? I guess that makes sense. Oh, I should use the right character sheet. Hang on.
Yeah, you're not in Handseeth's realm. There's another
No.
god. You have a
No,
connection
I
to.
got real worried that, like, maybe he didn't like me anymore.
It's not about
18,
that.
18 with disadvantage.
18 with disadvantage for religion? How dare you?
I got a 22. I have a plus 11.
Okay.
Which is weird when you really think about it, but whatever.
It is. I mean, it's really high religion for Winnie.
You have,
She's
I need to
smart.
put, you have a higher religion score than I do, and I just need to point out that that is weird.
She has a plus 5 intelligence.
I always forget that
She
religion
talks like this,
intelligence
but
phase, 'cause
she's
you're,
not.
You're supposed to know about other people's religions, not just your own.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Yeah,
she's got a cleric brother. She is a dungeon delver,
Nerd.
Indiana Joneser. What did you say?
Nerd.
Yeah.
It's like double
Yeah.
the gods, double the score. Like, you know, I think that also tracks.
Nice goggles, geek.
Oh,
Yeah,
she probably she would read the Curdle Mac book. That's right.
That no. Then if you're reading the Curdle Mac book,
After she gets her trance. I guess it depends on
Okay.
what she hears back from Handseeth.
so if you're like going over to your god's house and then the way home stopping at your other god's house. Okay.
Your dad and
Side
stepdad.
piece.
I need to learn more about Curdle Mac to know how screwed I am and how to get out of it.
Okay. Well, how do you connect with Handseeth? Are you just like thinking nice thoughts?
No, I mean, I've got some alcohol stuffs, and I would probably offer folks a nightcap if they wanted one. Yeah, like, I'd pour one out for my homie.
Okay. It
A
sizzles
toast
and
to
boils as
to-
you-
Handseeth.
Ooh.
Nope, that was Eva. That was Eva. Don't punish Winnie for what Eva does.
Oh, I have to. Yeah, okay. With an 18, I think you feel a decent connection, but I think even here in Hell, it's hard to have a connection to any gods that aren't evil aligned, quote unquote, that don't reside in these realms. If you were trying to make a connection to Tiamat, she might show up. You know, she's not far.
Do you think that's a good idea, Derek? Do you really think Winnie should try and have a connection with Tiamat?
Don't ask the DM that.
Isn't she
Don't ask,
not
the,
evil,
don't ask
though?
the DM who
This
loves
one?
Tiamat that.
I love Tiamat. Are you kidding?
We know.
I don't
Yeah,
think
isn't
she's
she
evil, but
not
she
evil?
is like.
Let me find her
Hell's
stat block.
connected.
She has there's an avatar of Tiamat stat block in here somewhere. Okay.
Also, LD, I can feel you typing. I already know.
Okay. go ahead and give me. Well, you're just reading about Colonel Mac, so this doesn't even feel like it needs to be a roll. The things you learn about Colonel Mac as after you have made your connection with Hanseath, and you open this book and it hisses as you. Every time it turns the page, you turn the page, you hear a tss as like the page
Like
is being
sizzling
turned.
or like a little kobold
A little bit of
hiss?
both, like a kobold that sizzles. Um,
Sizzle the
Colonel
kobold.
Mac. That's a good one. Sizzler the kobold. He's a kobold cook.
I love
There's
him.
a really good buffet. Sizzler Ponderosa. That's my next kobold's name. Okay. Titles.
If you're
The Horned
kobold
Sorcerer.
western, what the hell?
Okay, listen. Ponderosa is another buffet style thing similar to a Sizzler. It's a Midwest thing. It was like they made it very Old West. It was terrible and wonderful at the
Okay.
same time.
No,
Anyway,
get out.
we're getting some local lore. Okay. Colonel Mac, the Horned Sorcerer, the Watcher, the Devourer, Steel Scale, Stingtail, and Gnome Smasher. He actually is said to reside on in Drakari on Avernus. Colonel Mac is the patron deity of kobolds. And again, this is a picture book, so it's just like written kind of like in Draconic with little kobold writing where it's like, Kobold loved Colonel Mac. Believe he taught them how to survive, steal, take, pillage.
I'm
Other
absolutely reading this to little Jeffrey like a picture book.
Kobolds hate gnomes. Gnomes are bad.
And then I'll
Fuck
take a
dog,
moment
liver gold.
to remind little Jeffrey that we don't hate like that. Like, that's not a good life choice. Don't be a little wereshark bigot.
Gog Littergold took Kurtlemak from us. That's why Kobold not strong. But Kobold's still smart. Gog Littergold stuck Kurtlemak in an endless maze. It's important that Kobold give Kurtlemak maps and lights and compasses and things to help him navigate. If we do, Kurtlemak give us blessings. Thank you, Kurtlemak.
Majority of it.
I mean, he's got a point.
There's more to it. I just don't think the kobolds wrote that down. There is the symbol of Colonel Mac on the front page, which is like a child's drawing where it's like, oh, this child needs therapy. It's a skull with like a golden frame around it, and the skull has a spike driven like directly down through the skull with like cracks and like bloody cracks coming out of it. It's like, okay, this kid like definitely listens to some heavy stuff. So yeah.
All right, I'm just gonna monitor little Jeffrey to make sure he's not copying that kind of art. Yeah. And I just
He's
had
doing
a
his own version. It's like shark jaws with a nail driven down.
buddy. Okay. That's a lot. I think that's about it for good old Winnie.
Okay. Well, Jeffrey just looks up at you guys.
I want to be Curdle Shark.
You know, it's good to dream big, buddy. But
I want to be like my hero, Curdle Mac.
do you want to be locked up in a maze for all eternity? Yeah, I
I'd
didn't
find
think
my
so.
way out. I'd bite my way out.
I think he's probably tried that already.
He can't bite like I can.
That's true. The shifting eyes. Okay. Well, when we
Look at
get
those
back,
eyes.
I will build you a little maze and we'll see if you can bite out of it, okay?
Just little rat maze for Jeffrey's.
Yeah. Whatever the Damaris equivalent of cardboard is.
Yeah, there's a table at the far end that he wants to chew on. Great. The time passes. Long rest happens. Nobody sleeps, but rest in whatever variation it comes to you in hell comes all the same. And after a decent period of time, what maybe even feels like a day or more, those of you who are below deck, you begin to hear those bells ringing once again on the top deck. What would you like to do?
Are we going to assume it's another shark?
I'd at least like to see what's going on.
Yeah.
There's the bells. Is there as much activity as there was with the bells last time?
There's not.
Okay.
Wait, is this more of that business that we don't want to know about?
It's been long enough. I don't think so. I think this might be a sign that we are going to be docking soon.
We're gonna find out.
Nobody else is panicking though, so it can't be that bad. I will head up top.
Yeah, Callista, you go up top. What about the rest of you?
Yeah,
I'll
why
head up
not?
top. Yes.
You all make your way up to the top deck, and Navik is standing there, and he like holds out those like long fingers and almost like doubles his width with them fully extended.
It took you all long enough. I figured it got you up the last time, so it'll seem to work. It's time for you all to get the fuck off my boat.
Derek,
I'm
I
not
see.
stopping, by the way, so...
Are we close enough to the land where we can jump off, Derek?
He's like the ship is veering at this point. He's not brought you up like last second, but you're far enough away that you can see an estate like more and more coming into view. There's a sort of like crust of rocky outcropping, and just past that you can start to see battlements, and you can see crenellations and towers, and you can see this like black rock, almost like obsidian carved into individual stones. It has almost a sheen to it, with these like pink flames extending outward, which kind of cast it in this this strange light, like this kind of pinkish red, this rose-colored flame that glances off of this obsidian-looking rock. So you have a little bit of time, but the ship is veering close enough. Acacia could probably make it. Winnie, it would probably be an athletics check for some of you.
I'm not going to get close enough to land to damage my ship, but you all can fly or whatnot, right?
Proximus, if you want to take maybe Winnie.
Is it within 500 feet?
It is.
Okay.
Don't burn a spell slot.
We can still long rest.
Proximus,
I know, but still.
Proximus, if you want to carry Winnie, I can probably make the jump with Scarlett and Callista on my back.
Yeah, I could ferry y'all across too, so that's fine.
Little Jeffrey turns to Proximus and just goes, "Uppies."
Uppies for hat.
Yeah.
Okay. So as the damned gets closer and closer, you can see that the ship has more shades on the top deck now. However, they're not all moving about. In fact, you can see that there are these spectral manacles that are bound about the wrists of many of them, kind of just floating there. They seem to be hooded, almost similar to your captain. However, you can see that there are spectral faces kind of hidden between underneath, with these kind of like bluish, semi-ethereal glow to all of them, seemingly fished from the sticks itself. They don't seem to have the wherewithal to go anywhere. But your ship veers close enough to the rock that you will be within about 500 feet of the estate. Close enough that no one's going to notice, and behind a little bit of the rocky outcropping, Proximus, you take Winnie, Acacia, with Cleric and Sorcerer on your back. You leap from the deck as well. Your hooves barely catching, but they do, as you kick some of the sharp rock out from behind you on your newly ferried hooves. And as you all come aground, and the damned veers away, swerves away from making a collision into the beach itself, you get no wave goodbye, you get no farewells. If anything, you can hear Navik muttering good riddance to himself, and flipping you a gesture that is surely quite vulgar in the hells. As you look at Umberlith Manor, this shiny black, pinkish, glowing estate of infernal power and dominance, it begins to dawn on you that you are nearing the end of this part of your journey, and that you will have to decide how you would like to approach the Arch-Chancellor, the Infernal Chancellor Longinus, and what defenses he might have set up for himself. Discover his name? Sure. Perhaps easier said than done. Free souls in a vault? Definitely something on the to-do list. Cut and run? Always an option, but at what cost? So, as the estate looms before you and you begin to tactically plan out what you're going to do next, that is where we will end today. Thank you all so much for joining us for another episode of Horizons Call. We will be back next week, same time, same wonderful place, at 3 p.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. Eastern, right here on twitch.tv/sword_and_key. You can always catch some of our older episodes on our YouTube. It's youtube.com/@swordandkey. We've been a lot better, mostly thanks to Mare helping us out on getting those episodes uploaded in a decent time, so you can definitely catch a lot of those. We're going to go ahead and have some of these people say a little bit about themselves and where you can find more of them. Highly encourage you to do so. And then we'll do some channel stuff and we'll wrap up for the night. But I do want to say before all that, again, thank you very, very much for joining us. We do this because we love it, but it's all the more special by all of you joining us. So I really appreciate each and every one of you. And to extend that appreciation, please make use of our discount codes and all that other kind of stuff. I'll talk more about that here in a second. Before that, let's go ahead and go around. So, Mare, if you don't mind starting us out.
Hey everybody, my name is Mare. You can find me on all applicable media as Archmage of Dice. I'm still a Sword and Key exclusive until April 11th, where over on Valdrian's channel, I will be reprising my role as Wong, a Fire Nation who left the military, and now I'm, trying to help air nomads. That just, yeah, it happened right before right as Zane disappeared. But anyway, that's coming back April 11th at 6 p.m. Eastern for our third season of Smoke and Ashes. Everybody's hot. We got new character art.
Fantastic. Next up, we have Eva.
Hi, hello. I'm Eva. I am one half of Sword and Key. I'm the key half. And I am also at the moment a Sword and Key exclusive. I am to be found here Saturdays for Horizons Call, although hopefully the plan is to be running another game myself. Or two. We'll see. TBD.
Can't wait. TBD. Next up, we have Mikyl.
Hi, fam. I'm Mikyl. You can find me at Mikyl Sandoval, MIKYL SANDOVAL, on Instagram and or BlueSky. Just know that Instagram is now turning into a dumpster fire of political stuff. So activism and whatnot. So if you're just trying to hang out and look at my art, then BlueSky and or the Discord channel for Sword and Key. I am also a Sword and Key exclusive. I like hanging out with my friends, and it's a beautiful, wonderful, and very positive community that I love. So come check me out there. I have an art channel on there, and I'm not really working on anything right now, just doing some art projects for friends. So
Awesome. Thank you, Mikyl, and a special thank you to Mikyl, as always, for the artwork that you see on the screen, as well as in our promotional materials. Mykyl's a fantastic artist. If you like what you see here, you're going to like tomorrow with Humblewood and a lot of our previous stuff that's currently on the YouTube, and like Harbingers and going back to Veesen. A lot of fantastic artwork from Mikyl, and I'm really looking forward to whatever I ask him to do next. And also looking forward to paying him lots of money for it, even though I might have to hide it in his car or something. Next up, we have Kaila.
Hi, hello. My name is Kaila. I've been your Siren Storm Sorcerer Scarlett choice. I too am a Sword and Key exclusive. That's kind of it.
Very soon, I will. Peer pressure is better than bully Kaila into doing a paint stream. So,
I already talked to Mikyl about it.
I know, but you also like when Kayla's ready. Just trying to pin a woman doesn't need anybody telling.
I have the materials.
We have the ability.
I have the ability.
Last but absolutely not least, our special guest for today, for the past couple episodes, and for tomorrow, Jen. Thank you again so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me, even if you made me want to cry a little bit. But yes, I'm Jen. I'm also Long Dog Dice, and I make dice things, and some of them are starting to appear on the website for the next drop. I haven't decided when the drop is going to be. Kind of depends on when I feel like arguing with my camera to take pictures. It's my second least favorite part of the process of doing dice is taking pictures of them. So that'll happen eventually. There might be some other cool pictures of some other like special things that I'm working on soon, maybe in various Discord channels. But I'm here right now, and I stream my own things over on my own channel under La Zelda things. And then sometimes I appear on, if anyone here is familiar with D'Angelo Murillo, he is a writer in the TTRPG space. He does a series of games over on his channel, and that's where I will be going back to after my time here is done, as I will be playing my monk over there. And I'm sure everything has been totally fine without her being there this whole time.
I'm sure it's great.
It's been super cool.
GMs are not antagonistic at all. We just like having fun with monsters. Thank you so much, all of you. Special thank you again to Jen. Please check out Long Dog Dice. Check out the website, check out the socials. You can use code Sword and Key for 10% off your first purchase, and there's some really amazing stuff on there. I'm very excited for some stuff that I saw posted on socials today. So yeah, really looking forward to that. I also want to extend again a special thank you to Mikyl for the art, and to the wonderful Kaila, Mare, and Eva, all of whom are not just mods but also producers on the channel as well, and put a lot of work into the stuff that you see. I would love to say that I have more to do with what you see on screen, but I don't. I have more to do with the stuff you hear. So I could not do it without all three of them, and I really want to show that appreciation. I am Derek Sword, use he, him pronouns. I have been your GM for this game and a lot of games here. I will be your GM tomorrow morning as well for Humblewood, but I'm going to talk about that here in a second. I do want to say that if you like what we do here, please check out all of our stuff at beacons.ai/sword and key. That's beacons, like a light, BEACONS, not bacons, although that would be more fun. Beacons.ai/sword and key has all of our socials. Currently, we are doing Instagram and BlueSky. So you can check us out. Sword_and_key, I believe it's Instagram, and Sword and Key, all one word, is BlueSky. If you are looking at the beacons, the first link is going to be Twitch. If you're watching this on Twitch, you're already there. You don't have to worry about that one. The second one is our Discord. Hang on our Discord, be a community member. We would love to have you around. Love to have you chat about movies and games and pets and food and games we play here, games we play as video games, games we play other places, characters, all that kind of stuff. Our Discord is also where we put our applications out first for games like the ones that Eva was talking about. We'll have some out here in the near future as well. Once Hubblewood wraps up, some game features we want to do. So Discord's a great place to be. The Beacons also has links to some charitable organizations we support, like Palestine Children's Relief Fund, Canada Campaigns for Independence, Fauna and Flora International, as well as some pallies like for Gate Night and this game. If you are looking to directly support the arts and tip our cast and crew, you can do that as well. Our Beacons also has our discount codes for our affiliates. So we are affiliates with some fantastic people like Long Dog Dice, again, code Sword and Key for 10% off your first purchase. We're also affiliates with Eldritch Foundry for custom miniatures. No matter how weird and wild your TTRPG character might be, you can make one there. And they have some really cool bases. It's not just like a flat plinth. You can actually like have monsters that they ride on. They recently introduced sandworms like from Dune, so you can absolutely make that character. And you can use code Sword and Key for 10% off your first purchase there. We are also affiliates with Hit Point Press, who are the makers of the Griffin Saddlebag books, and the Humblewood. There's Humblewood Tales. There's the regular Humblewood. Nope, sir, it's upside down. There it is. Okay, there's Humblewood. I recently just ordered the first Griffin Saddlebag book, as well as another music license and some of the free stuff they had on there, and also the Humblewood graphic novel For Want of a Nail, which I've heard amazing things about. So yeah, use our custom link if you're going to be purchasing some Humblewood stuff. They have plush, they have minis, like I said, music licenses, they got digital stuff, they have like what is it, STLs if you're looking to do like 3D printing. I've got a ton stuff on their website, and you can get all of it with our custom link and kind of help us out a little bit. It's really appreciated. We currently don't have any discount codes necessarily associated with them, but you know, if you give them your email, they're going to give you 10% off anyway, and that's probably the best that we can do one way or another at this point. So you can also on our beacons find links to our podcast, Monster Crush. It is a podcast that I record with my friend LD. We talk about cryptids, creatures, miscellaneous monsters from myth, and how smoochable they are. It is a niche podcast in the sense that it's about monsters. It's even more of a niche podcast than it's talking about fucking monsters. But I know you're out there. I know you exist. The podcast is great. We just got done releasing our In the March of Madness Eldritch Monster bracket, which you can still participate in. I released LD's final bracket. She was very predictable. You could be unpredictable if you want, or you know, it's Eldritch Monsters. You know, lose your mind to whatever monsters you want. So you can find that bracket on our socials, Monster Crush on Instagram, Monster Crush Pod on Instagram, and BlueSky, and also we have a channel for it on our Discord. And you can listen wherever podcasts are found. We'll have a new episode out here, I believe, not this weekend, but next. And then just 2 weeks after that will be our episode 100. It's going to be about the Loch Ness Monster. And I can't believe we've hit 100 episodes. Yeah, our Beacons has a ton of other stuff. Like I said, it has the YouTube. It has pretty much anything you'd need to find Sword and Key stuff. And you can always find our calendar and all that kind of stuff on our Discord as well. If you want to keep up with what we're doing, we have Discord events. We also have a Google Calendar. Speaking of the calendar, let's look at what's coming up next. So today's the 22nd. Tomorrow, the 23rd, at 10 a.m. Pacific time, is Humblewood Yonderbound. It is probably the penultimate episode. I'm planning for it to be the penultimate episode. I say that having planned for 12 sessions, and I think we're at 16 or something now. So, you know, best laid plans go to waste. You know, the man plans and the devil something. Oh, it's episode 17. I was wrong even more. So we'll probably end with episode 18 on the 30th at 10 a.m. Pacific time. Also tomorrow at 2 p.m. Pacific time, we have our next Sword and Tea. This is with James Barry from Black Cats Gaming. We're going to be discussing Cursed Captains of Cthulhu, something I've been hinting at for a long time. Finally got our scheduling lined up, so we are going to chat about Cursed Captains of Cthulhu tomorrow, so you can look forward to a game feature of that shortly to follow. Okay. So, other than that, I'm sorry, there's messages everywhere. There we go. Yeah, the rest of the calendar, I do want to say we do have movie nights that happen every other week. Our next one coming up on the 4th of April is actually a special movie night because it is also coincides with the exact birthday of one of our amazing mods, Gona. It is their birthday on the 4th. So they actually suggested The Last Unicorn, which we'd already watched, Repo the Genetic Opera, which we're watching for LD's birthday literally the next week, and the last one was The Birdcage. So we were watching The Birdcage, the 1996 film starring Robin Williams and Gene Hackman and Nathan Lane. Two-thirds have something in common. So it is a personal favorite of mine. If you've never seen The Birdcage, it's a great opportunity. You can always join our Discord and watch movies totally for free. You just have to be a part of our Discord, and they happen at 6 p.m. Pacific time every other Friday, unless there's a special event, like the week after that, which is LD's birthday, where we're watching Repo the Genetic Opera. Other than that, Gate Night, where LD, Shadow, and I play Baldur's Gate 3, is going to be 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. We are changing it back to 6:30 p.m. On Tuesdays. So you can look out for that. We're getting into Act 3. We're just into Act 3. And yeah, Horizons Call is going to play every Saturday for the foreseeable future of my life. And I'm excited about that. That's not a bad thing. So thank you so much, again, for joining us. We are going to be rating Apochromatic? I'm actually sure that's pronounced. Apochromatic Unlimited for rating. So spread some positivity over there. You know, be a good person. Be a light in the world. You know, carry that light with you, much as Callista does. And we will be back next week, same time, same place. Until that time, remember to take care of yourselves and others, and always remember to have fair winds and following seas, brave mariners. Bye all.